That's where I coined the term inauthentic corporate males and females. You think you got a choice. You think you could do bad business. You think you could shill and grift. You think you can gatekeep. You think you can play both sides and you're never going to get fucking called out or have to deal with the consequences. The court taught you a fucking lesson and I taught you a fucking lesson because I told you years ago, you're going to stand on what's true and what's right and be a man, or you're going to jail, right? Either way, your bitch ass is going to jail. You're already in jail, out of jail, because you're a prisoner in the mind and heart. You think statute, policy, and code is law. You're godless and faithless and dishonorable. You think that business and selling board games and trifolds and books is true value. It's not. You sold yourself out. You tricked yourself out of your own true power and position. You have no credibility with the real ones. I had to tell Jennifer yesterday, we were talking about it. I'll give you the equivalency so you slaves can understand. Jay-Z can get on record and he can sell 1 billion records and get $1 billion and talk that gangster shit and that pimping shit. But somewhere on the ground in the real world is a real gangster and a real pimp who's really living that shit, really sacrificing for that shit, really dealing with the consequences. And Jay-Z can go to his condo and pretend in front of his bullshit audience that can't see through the fake shit. But Jay-Z can't ride around the hood and have that kind of clout and respect on the ground in the streets. You see the difference? There's differences between us and how we move. Some of us are in this for the truth, the authentico, the self-respect, the respect from others in truth, and to ride on the purpose that we came in with. Other folks are interested in selling 1 billion records, making $1 billion, and convincing their gullible, naive, duped out audience that they're the real thing and that they're riding for the cause. We know the difference. Okay? We know the difference. Some of us know the difference. Now go to any room and tell me if inherent hierarchical power and value systems don't show themselves. Tell me if this dynamic isn't clear in almost every room. There's the real, there's the fake. There's the true, there's the false. And as the Tao says, the average slave can't tell the false from the true or the true from the false. That's why in this world, the fakest motherfuckers who do the least and lie the most tend to make the most profit and have the most numbers. The motherfuckers who keep it the most thorough, down to earth, grounded and real, don't pull punches and don't play favorites and won't do business because they'll leave money and opportunities on the table rather than work with folks who lack integrity. Yeah, they're usually hated by the world and they're misunderstood. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, right? Because at least by the end of this, I get to say I kept my true to self. I kept my heart intact. I kept my integrity and my responsibility and my faith to myself and my God and the truth and to these motherfucking people who watch me, because I couldn't imagine coming on here and bullshitting myself and everybody else with my team DLZ that we got to win. I couldn't imagine it. You didn't get the authentic experience. You didn't get the coming of age story. You didn't get the level up of being a man at court and putting your word as law on the record and standing on that shit and gambling with faith and surrender. You didn't get that yet. You've never gotten that yet. You have no idea what the fuck that feels like, and you never will, because you're a punk ass, bitch ass coward. And when I try to level you up and raise you up, you leave me on red and say, cool, whatever, bye, because you don't need Pauly boy. You never really did in your mind. You got the numbers, you got the money. The one thing or the few things you don't have is the courage, the faith, and the motherfucking truth on your side. And I wouldn't want to be you for 3 seconds. The fact that you're okay being you is the problem in this world nowadays. Make no mistake, you motherfuckers are the problem. Bunch of two-faced, bitch-ass, cowardly, word don't mean nothing, non-integrity, non-credibility, fake-ass motherfuckers in public who talk a whole bunch of shit but don't ride on nothing. And the worst part is, I don't even have beef with you. I don't have beef with anybody. But if I was going to have beef with anybody, it'd be the average citizen slave who keep filling your coffers and keep buying into your nonsense and keep creating more slavery for me and everyone else here who aren't living that way. Just like you's all bought into the ear story with Donnie and all the rest of it. You guys are all the same. It's like they have a factory, which is the universe. It's exactly what it is, that churns out one-self versions of people. And then there's like a dualistic component, sun and moon, like everything else here, fire and water, you know. You got the lukewarm, dumbed down, cooled off slaves, too cool for school. And you got motherfuckers who got the eternal flame of truth burning hot inside of them, ain't stopped yet. While you want to sit up there and say, we don't stop. Motherfucker, you stopped on a dime as soon as they hit you with them charges. You got someone else to talk for you. So you can't use these phrases anymore. You're a dumbass because you and your audience want to call yourselves delete laws. You're dishonorable in bad faith. The court's never going to perceive you like they perceive me. And that's okay. It could 180 me. They could 360 me right now. And it's not going to change who and what we are, what we've stood on, what we've been and done, and how we're seen by the people in the court. Are you kidding me? You guys just don't get the real world. You don't get how this works. And it's because you don't think you have to. Long as you got numbers and money and some hot, dumb bitch next to you who don't stand for nothing either, who's going to take half your shit, you think everything's hunky fucking dory. Well, you're going to get a wake-up call over the next 3 to 5 years. Bet on it. That's what I'm telling you straight from the top. I'm riding on this and gambling with my word and reputation. You're going to get another fucking wake-up call over the next 3 to 5 years. Last 4 years wasn't enough for you. Bet on it. Economically is the next hit, right? So when you fucking bitch-ass motherfuckers get all your pretty and nice shit taken away from you, that means your bitch goes too. That means you're back to yourself and God and the land and whatever you could create and do. Good fucking luck. Wouldn't want to be you. That's the thing. I got a handful of solid motherfuckers who are really on the ground, really about it. They go sit in a fucking box. They don't have a platform. They don't have an audience. They don't have the benefit of putting up hundreds of thousands of dollars. They don't have shit, some of them. They don't need shit when it comes to coin of this realm. They got the coin of the other world right here. They got that true value. They're riding with that faith and that truth and that surrender. That's worth all the gold and jewels on the land. Let's be fucking clear about it. If you ain't got that, you ain't got nothing. Stop me where the fuck I'm wrong. And when you bitch ass motherfuckers are ready to level up and ride on this truth and say goodbye to 3/4 of your cowardly bitch ass dumbed down audience, Uncle Paulie boy, your stepdaddy will be here waiting for you. Right? I never turn you out completely. I never say you're irredeemable completely. I just say you need a reformation. You need some repentance. You need some reconciliation and resolution, because this ain't it. It don't look good on you, DeCastro and others. You could do better. You could be better. I'm looking at you for the potential you are, like a rough diamond. You have the ability, DeCastro and others, to be a real leader and change maker in this community. And you're dropping the motherfucking ball to sell board games and books and trifolds and showing up to court crying like a bitch ass motherfucker and copping out. We don't ride that way. So as of this point, and don't think that this is going to be where it's end, because I'm going to keep the fire on you motherfuckers from time to time, but I'm going to speak on it, and then I'm going to move on tomorrow most likely and continue with my broadcast. I'm not going to focus too much on you folks, but every once in a while, if you don't get your fucking act together and you want to keep taking your show on the road in public, I'm going to bring everybody's attention back to who and what you are and what this is all really about, right? You can't run from yourself, so you can't run from me, and you definitely can't run from this motherfucking truth that I am channeling on my channel, right? A lot of you folks are not channeling. You're not in alignment with it, and that's precisely the problem that we have right here, right now, at this time. Cowardly, faithless, infidel, in the world and of it motherfuckers who don't have what it takes at this time to ride, and if they do, it's gone dormant. Because they rather be comfortable and accepted by the world and the worldly folks who are going to keep giving them money and numbers and support, rather than be accepted by God because they're unbelievers. Okay? So blessed are those who are persecuted and prosecuted for this truth and the law of the land. And that would be me. And I stand. Circle so small, it's me and the spirit and God. It has to be that way for everyone else out there. You don't get to call Paulie boy when you got to show up at court and testify in front of God and the world. You don't get to call your fucking attorney for you to put who and what you are on record in front of God and the world. Time for that shit is over. Same way you motherfuckers, if you were on the street claiming some kind of gang or some position, you want to call your people to come save your bitch ass when it's time to ride on that flag, when it's time to ride on those principles. Yeah, now you want to go looking for somebody else to get you the fuck out of what you've been claiming with all the other bullshit. That's all you motherfuckers are. You want to call me thugged out and ghetto? I'm not as sophisticated as the rest of you. Yeah, we could play that game. You know, that's bullshit too. I run rings around you motherfuckers in intellect. I don't have to pretend to be something I'm not. Okay? So when you want to claim something and you want to pop that shit and you want to fly that flag, right? Whether it's American flag, blood and crippin', whatever the fuck it is, and you don't want to ride on American values and you don't want to ride on the law of the land and you don't want to take a bullet for that shit, well then we got nothing to talk about. You ain't it. You ain't about it. That's his low-level, streetwise, spiritual, straight from the East Coast, direct to the point that I could give it to you. I can't be any more low-level, dumbed down, direct, straight to the point other than that analogy. Let me bring in Mr. Bryan O'Shea. because I want to have a back and forth with him. I asked him to be here today because I cut him off yesterday and I didn't give him enough opportunity in my mind to speak, because I did want to hear from him. I do want to hear from others. But oftentimes when I get on this broadcast, that flame just fucking flares up and I just can't stop from staying on a movement. I just can't stop from staying in my flow and in that pocket, good, bad, or indifferent, right? So at times I got to refocus, shift gears, yield a little bit, and let other folks come up here and share what they are and what they're doing, because it's all one and the same. This ain't about Paulie boy. That's why DeCastro and you bitch ass motherfuckers won't hit this panel. I've asked you, don't tell me we're friends when I come on your channels and you can't handle me over there either. And then when I tell you come over here, return the favor, you ain't coming over, because you folks tell me you don't do panels. Yeah, because you don't want accountability, responsibility. You don't want to be on the fly and unscripted. You don't want other motherfuckers coming in and asking you questions about who and what you are. That's the first clue that you motherfuckers ain't real. I've asked all of yous to do panels, to show up, to pop up. You can't do it. And when you do, you pop up shaky and nervous and on guard and defensive, and you're ready to run because you really ain't solid in who and what you are. You ain't got that core to your beingness worked out yet. And then you want to talk about your Paulie boy's friend. No, you ain't. Let's get it clear. I ain't on here like you lying to everybody's face so that everybody likes me and gives me shit. I'd rather have real ones or nobody at all. You ain't my friend if you ain't riding on this. If you ain't American about American values and principles and you ain't ready to die or go to a box, you ain't my motherfucking friend. We're friendly at times, but I don't consider you one of my people. It's that fucking simple. And there's folks who maybe ain't going all the way and doing it who I know got the heart for it. So it ain't about a competition either. You don't have to necessarily be doing it at this time for me to know you got it in you and that you would if you needed to. Right? Those are two different conversations as well. Then there's everybody else. So there's folks who are on a journey. They're walking this path. They want to know more and do more and be more. And they respect me and what I'm doing. And they see the fellowship as oneself. So we reflect each other at times. That's exactly what the fuck this experience is supposed to be. Holographic and reflective mirroring. Stop with your fucking individualized sense of self and ego. It's a bunch of bullshit. You're a bunch of collectivized group think scum anyway. So let's cut the games. And I'm speaking on the whole. I'm doing generalizations. I'm triggering motherfuckers' ego. Stop me where it doesn't apply to you. Matter of fact, don't stop me if it doesn't apply to you. Then you keep it moving because it applies to somebody else out there. Chances are what the fuck I'm speaking on with other people applies to me first and foremost. It's only because I recognize it in me that I could recognize it in you, because I'm not lying to myself and everybody else, because I'm not above it and beyond it, because I'm not so fucking big and bad and tough and all the rest of it. Yeah, I feel fear. Yeah, I have to practice faith often. Yeah, it takes a lot for me to come on here and keep it all the way the fuck real, knowing most motherfuckers are going to wind up hating me and rejecting me and rebuking me. And I may have to go back to working a fucking job because I won't push bullshit products and I won't suck dick and try to make everybody like me so they give me shit. No, that ain't what this is about. Okay, so let's get the game back in this proper perspective. Let's start coming to that age of reason. Let's start coming to that realization campaign point, right? Where we at least recognize that we're here in this life to actualize and realize this is only a life about purpose. The more that you avoid actualization and realization to keep the things that you have or to stay comfortable, the less credibility, self-respect, and respect from others with discernment, including God, that you get. That includes the courts as well. If you think the courts are going to respect your bitch ass, and if you think they're going to recognize the law of the land and universal law and your rights and freedom without you fucking showing up, talking it, and standing on it, I don't think it's going to fucking happen. What do you think about that? I think you motherfuckers are going to have to pull guns and bang it out at some point, and I don't think you got what it takes for that either. If you can't do one, you probably can't do the other, so go hang it the fuck up. Got some nerve coming on here. I don't care how many fucking dumbed out citizen slaves you got watching you and clapping for you. Meaningless. Nicki Minaj and all these clowns got millions of slaves to take everybody's place to show up and clap and give them money and say they're the shit. You ain't about nothing. You know it and I know it. If it's true for you, you know it and I know it when you hit that mirror and do that mirror therapy. Let's cut the fucking games with ourselves and each other. You motherfuckers can't even stand on a private message from me. Can't even look at yourself in the reflection of that phone, in that phone glass. You can't even stand on that when you're answering a fucking message from me because I'm reflecting who and what you are in the way that I'm texting. And you run from that 1,000 miles to the other way back to your falsely empowered codependents online who keep enabling you and sucking your dick and paying for all your shit. Beyond pathetic and embarrassing. You motherfuckers still don't know what it is to be a man. We're going to get you right or you're going to get gone with the ones who matter, right? You'll still have your power base of loser, failure, fake ass, cowardly motherfuckers who can't see, just like Donnie Trump and the rest of them. You'll always have your power base of loser tards, but the real ones who matter, who got the discernment and are walking the walk and got the respect, you ain't around these parts. We're everywhere you're not. Just like they tell Jay-Z and all the rest of them, sell 1 million records, get the $1 billion, but we're everywhere you're not. We don't see you around here. You ain't around these parts. You don't live how we live. You don't do what we do. So it's a joke that you sit up there and talk about it. No other way to see it. Let's go to Bryan O'Shea. Off to a rousing start already, huh, Bryan O'Shea? Can't keep my fat mouth shut. I'm so egotistical and narcissistic, they tell me, right? What do you got, Mr. Bryan O'Shea? Tell us your latest exploits, your latest interactions. You're still riding around with no plates, no license, no nothing. You're on Denver. Have you had any interactions? What's the deal, man?
Yeah, Denver's been good to me since I got out. I started working my balls off, meeting a lot of people, cool people. Yeah, and I was just wondering how they would respond to the plates. And I've had cops behind me a few times. But yeah, nothing's happened. There's been really no interactions. Because, like, you know, when I'm chilling in the car, some people might call here and there. I feel like a call came, but the dude just kind of drove up, said, "What's up?" and then just kind of kept it moving, spun the block, and didn't even come back. So yeah, it's like, I don't know if they're pulling anyone over out here, dude. Which is interesting, man.
It's a free-for-all. Denver's a free-for-all, man. If you want to go there and have no rules, we're pure anarchy, like they say. Anarchy means no rulers, no slaves. But in their mind, it means no rules. There's no law. So, hey, Denver's apparently open season, huh? That's what you're telling me?
Yeah, it feels like they try to open the gates in other places, too. Like, just go fucking, like, do that. What do they call that? That purge? They're like, but people are probably generally good. Like, they probably open the floodgates, like, in most places just for people to go fucking wild. They didn't try to encourage it with those fucking riots.
Yeah, any cops behind you yet?
A little bit here and there. I don't know if I had they got these white SUVs. I've had, like, I can't say I specifically had that white SUV. I've had them behind me, different types of cars from in the Denver area, but nothing. Yeah, no pullovers yet, though. No, other than that fucking arrest in that suburb.
Hey, bro, we put Denver on the map. There's no way to see it any other way. I know they want to say that I got this high narcissistic, grandiose opinion of myself. I really didn't. I came in this a scared motherfucker who was practicing faith and upholding the law. I didn't know where it was going to go. So 10-something million views later and probably hundreds of thousands of views from folks on Denver and around that area, we put that motherfucker on the map. So you ain't going to convince me on some level, even if it's 0.5%, that what I've done and put on wax for everybody to watch, the famous travel video that this clown Jeremy said that's the only thing I'm known for. No, bro, I got about at least 6 court appearances or presentments. I got about 3 to 5 warrants that have just went to the wayside, completely off the record at this point, because it turns out you don't have to present an administrative court without a contract. So there's a few things that I could be known for, or more importantly, that my experience could be used to help the rest of you slaves get out of bondage. If you care to look, instead of doing the egocentric mirroring game with me, sorry that I developed some confidence and faith on this walk and empowerment, inspiration, and connection to God. I'm so sorry that offends so many people here, right? I should just be fucking meek, not even meek, because that's not what meek means. We could get into that. I should be lukewarm and weak is what it is. I should be weak and lukewarm and monotone, and I should have this affect, and I should go around and say it's about love and light, being nice and kind and polite. We're all friends. We don't stop later, gators. That's what most of you fucking pathetic, weak-ass motherfuckers resonate with, right? That's the Talcott syndrome. You resonate with that. There's just nothing there. There's no heart. There's no balls. There's no eternal truth behind it. There's no fire and passion. There's no nothing there. There's no true care. That's what the majority you resonate with, that weak shit. Then when you get someone who's been tempered in the fire, who's developed confidence and faith in this truth and a rap and an ability to speak it because he's become one with it at the core, you say, that's offensive. That's narcissistic. Like every dumb, broken bitch who doesn't understand what it takes to be a man in this world and to live on rejection and have to continue to forge ahead. Every dumb bitch online who spreads their legs and gets to everything that's given to him in life thinks that a man who presents like this or embodies true care and passion is a narcissist. No, I'm not. There's times where I don't bathe. There's times I wear the same clothes every day. You think I'm in love with myself and my own reflection? I'm in love with this truth because it's the only fucking thing that saved me from being a low-life scum. To be all the way candid and real with each other, I'm the furthest motherfucking thing from a narcissist only because I've checked or killed off my ego that I could unite with superego, a bigger purpose and value and meaning here beyond what the fuck I like and what I want. And it was only through the recognition of not liking and respecting myself and my own reflection that I was able to go to the next level. So save your fucking ad hoc pseudo-psychological analysis for someone who you can gaslight, because that's what you want. All you're really saying is you want a population of males who are dumbed down, lukewarm, weak, bad businessmen who move and shake and snake around with their smarmy, passive-aggressive nonsense, and you think that that's loving and caring. We're in inversion land now where the narcissist gets labeled a hero, loving and caring, and the loving and caring folks who are on a hero's journey get labeled a narcissist. The mind and heart control is almost complete, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost complete. And oh boy, is it going to get fun the more we go deeper down this dark and inverse, confusing, and chaotic path. It's only going to get more exciting and fun for everyone. How bizarre. All this, I'm going to say it again because I love repeating myself here. It's what I've had to get used to doing. So I've learned to love my fate because really I don't like repeating myself, but I've had to learn to love it because this is what we have to do in this life. Practice makes perfect. All the snaky, fake ass, smarmy, little weak ass, lukewarm fence riding beta males are all received as the loving, caring ones, while the ones who are impassioned, who have the true care, who are lit on fire, who are dealing with consequence and sacrifice, doing service to self, which is service to others truly by actualizing and realizing and giving away that self and that experience, they're the narcissist. They're the ego trippers, don't you know? You're the same broken hoes and bitches that would shit on your own founding fathers because you want to call it toxic masculinity and patriarchy that some motherfuckers are actually leading, guiding, protecting, revealing, standing on truth, and being unwavering, surrendering in faith. You folks are so broken and have never seen a real man that you don't even know what one looks or sounds or feels like. And when you come across one, you immediately reject it and rebuke it, just like a broken bitch and hoe who was brought up by a beta male and a toxic feminine devouring mama slave like the majority of you have. Do you think it's a coincidence to Castro? Hold on, hands on the head. Simon says hands on the head. Sometimes I like to act out here. And I do different things with my hands. Maybe it's like a self-soothing thing, right? It's not only performative, but it's self-soothing. Is it a coincidence? I'm self-soothing. Is it a coincidence that Mr. DeCastro has no mom, has no daddy in his life, was raised by his mama? Is it always a coincidence? Every one of these males has no strong father figure in their life. Daddy gone and left out of the house, left with their devouring mama, and that's why they all act like them. They come on with the cute little red glasses, with the little mincing attitude and the lisp. We don't stop later, gators. Then you meet a fucking masculine man who's deeply in the sacred masculine with a woman's care, sacred feminine, and you rebuke it and reject it like the Babylonian, Jezebel, harlot, queer that you are. And when I say queer, I'm not talking homosexuality. Let's be clear. Talking you're odd. You're bizarre. You're broken. You're not in alignment. You don't understand sacred masculine and feminine. You reject it and rebuke it and say, give us Barabbas. Give us what we've always known that feels good to us, but is an obvious deception to anyone who checks their feelers and has discernment. You're all the same. You have no idea what it's like to come to this realization and be surrounded by weak-ass, lukewarm scum like you that then want to parade around like they've achieved something. You're beyond pathetic and embarrassing. I can't wait for the fire and the waves to come. I can't wait for the next camps to be set up to genocide you slaves. So sick of your willful arrogance and ignorance. You just really believe in your ego that you never have to really become a man and do and be in this life and stand on something because someone or something's always going to get you out of what the fuck you get yourselves into. It's not going to happen, folks. Right? And again, much as I love you and care about you at this point, and I'm screaming and yelling every day, almost like a father would in somewhat toxic fashion, to try to wake you motherfuckers up to do and be and have better because the time is nigh. When the time comes, I'm not going to have any sympathy for you. I already don't. I'm going to laugh and giggle because it's the only thing that's going to keep me from crying. And I may shed a tear as well because it's beyond shameful. It's beyond embarrassing. It's beyond pathetic. And the fact that you all continue it will be your undoing. And you only continue because you're godless and believe there's no consequences here because you never had a daddy in your life who brought you up with discipline to show you and teach you there's consequences to everything that you do and say and be in life. Right? The inmates are running the asylum now. The little boy's hopped up on the coffee table and he's running mama's house. Yeah, right. Go ahead, Mr. Bryan O'Shea. I did it again. I'm fucking ranting and raving. I'm on fire as always. I'm sick of these punk-ass cowards who all came into my life and contacted me and brought me on their broadcast and then dropped the fucking ball over and over and dropped me like a hot potato when they didn't need me anymore, couldn't use me, or I exposed them for who and what they are just by speaking truth and showing up. Please take over and talk about your latest experiences. I'm going to hit some reefer just to put some distance and time and space in between us so I don't cut you off again in my rude fashion as I'm known for you.
It's all good, man. We need this ranting and raving right now. You got old ass motherfuckers like me just barely waking up. But it's still, dude, the crazy part about it, dude, I slacked this past week, right? Been slacking. But dude, I could be a bum in a car slacking on going to TaskRabbit jobs and still, dude, like give you an example, dude. Here's the deal, Bryan. Like you're ranting and raving, you're like, I got motherfuckers doing this shit, and he's like, is Bryan O'Shea one of them? And it's like, bro, if you're asking the question, like these motherfuckers know they gotta step it the fuck up, dude. Bryan, from here's the deal, dude. Crow 777. Crow's like, what am I gonna do? Fucking, if I take my plates off, I'll just get pulled over all the time. Dude, what the fuck are you worried about, Crow 777? Like, bro, you got a fucking big giant fucking audience. You got fucking cash in the bank. Like, you can't go sit for fucking 3 days, dude, and fucking come back with your experience and then maybe have an interaction with the courts because you're Mr. Court guy, Mr. fucking
I got a family. I got a bitch next to me who wants me to pay for all her shit. Wah, I can't go sit. Remember what the Castro said when he was in there day one of jail? Guys, hello world. I don't want to say this, but I need more money. They won't set themselves up and put themselves in positions to be activists and be able to go sit. Either because their bitch won't let them, their cowardly heart won't let them, or them bill collectors won't let them because they're all in debt living beyond their means so they can live a life of comfort, pleasure-based existence. They're not into purpose and meaning and value systems. They're into this. They're into that down there. Whole bunch of chatters looking up to them. They're into this and that. That's all it's about. What? Oh, Paulie got really real with himself and each other again. Go ahead, Bryan. Continue. You got me fired up again.
Yeah, Crow 777. Like, what the fuck, dude? I'd get pulled over all the time. Bro, you're an old fucking man. Like, you're Mr. fucking, I'm not trying to make waves and just do what's right and fucking, oh, now you got a little taste of the money, though, huh? And you got Rose fucking behind the scenes. Rose, why don't you just step the fuck up in your wheelchair and just get pulled over and drive around with no plates and show these fucking bitch-ass motherfuckers, Jason Lindgren and Crow 777, how to be a fucking man from a wheelchair, how to go to jail,
No, she's too busy demeaning the whole community, calling everyone sovsits and saying there's no legitimacy. Instead of her or someone riding on something from her wheelchair or not, she's too busy demeaning everybody who's actually doing something, and then shooting subliminals at me because she knows she's not going to name me directly because there's no point, right? You already got my attention and got me to expose you motherfuckers and talk the real deal. You don't want it with me. You don't want me running this big fat white mouth every day. Pink and brown spot mouth, excuse me. I'm just looking very white today on the screen. That's why I'm saying that. Yeah, they don't want it. And it's not even about me as a persona and someone roasting them. It's about the truth that I speak that they know is fucking true. They don't want it out in the ether and in the air. That they want to be exempt from it. They want to be exempt from the truth and what's right in all venues and all fashions. Not with me, not with God. That's why I become the God of all media. I'm bringing right to your fucking doorstep what you keep running from and ignoring. You need it, motherfucker. You don't even know how badly you need it.
They've turned the person into the all caps name, and then they turned the fucking all caps name into the fucking automobile. It's like the automobile and this all caps entity are some fucking, like, it's the robot. There's some weird mergence, dude. These vehicles where they can just fucking creeping. How many people are in jail for fucking ever for automobile related shit, bro? You got drugs in there. You fucking, when there's no other, dude, fuck this shit, dude.
These are people with millions of dollars. You're dealing with politicos. You're dealing with frauds and grifters who are politician-like beings. Chile de Castro had a conversation with me one day about millions of dollars worth of property that he's had left to him. These are trust fund babies who are lying and grifting online and selling you products to make more and more money, then show up at court and cry and beg for more. It's beyond grotesque. It's beyond grotesque. You guys are living so far beyond your means. You're in debt and you already have everything you would need, and it's never enough. Maybe one day when you're actually fulfilled, and you're living in truth and what's right, and you're the man you're meant to be, you won't need millions and millions and millions more. You'll be like Pauly Boy in a cabin and be just fine. They all make fun of Pauly Boy because he went with thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars to a tent. I had currency in the bank or in investments. That's for later on in life. I'm practicing doing without so I can be all I can be in certain ways. You can't live a life beyond your means in debt if you're going to be an activist and stand on truth and rights. It requires you going to jail rather regularly. The fuck school did you come up in? You guys sat around in 8th grade and listened to stories of great men going to jail over and over again to make change happen in themselves and in the world. And you didn't do it. You won't do it. You want safety nets and guarantees because you're bitch ass motherfuckers with no faith. It's not what activism is about. It's not what upholding the law and rights is about. It's not what the fight for freedom is about. You got to be willing to go to a box or die. And don't cry to me about you losing pieces of your nice, pretty property that you thought were just going to be there forever. That's not how this works. Why do you think I went to the tent and got the trailer? Minimal investment. Put it on the land. Working with the community. That came about. Living in the high desert. Because it's sustainable on some level. There's no debt. Yeah, you have to do without certain things. That's the walk of a spiritually faithful disciple with discipline. You don't want to be that. You want to be the opposite. Stars on the Walk of Fame, millions of dollars in and out of your hands, millions of dollars worth of property for you to sit around and lord and pretend you're some big bad man. Pathetic, embarrassing, the antithesis of eternal wisdom, the antithesis of enlightenment, the antithesis of co-creation at this time or any time. Again, you may want to go pick up that Bible. You like to pick up Montesquieu and everything else and tell me about that man's words. You won't walk the walk of these motherfuckers, but you like to read that. Go back to what started this whole society. The Christed being was a beggar living from town to town, probably homeless, living within his means, doing what's true and what's right. not because it was going to be profitable, because it was the true right thing to do from God in conscience. Wake up to that reality one day and live that and come back and talk to me about all your value here. That's valueless. If you aren't valuable, then whatever value you've turned up or grifted on is valueless, because it all extends off of your core and who and what you aren't. So again, easier to fool motherfuckers than convince them they've been fooled. That's an old saying for a reason. Old because it's true. Go ahead, Mr. O'Shea. Brian O'Shea. I'm eating now. All right, Brian O'Shea. Can you folks still hear me down in the chat? Brian O'Shea seems like he cut out here. Test. 5 by 5. Okay, we're gonna move along. Let's go to the Grim Hustle. Your network is your net worth, and of course, your net worth. Close mouth when chewing. No, I'm not going to. I'm eating with a completely open mouth here because I can. I do whatever I want here. This is how I eat at jail, too. When they put me in jail, I usually fast because I don't want to eat the crap there, and it's better for my spiritual practice and walk, especially when I need it the most, right? That's how I eat at jail, right in the window, right in front of the slave guard. That's all like that. Right in front of the bitch in the bubble. I say, hey, Miss So-and-so, can I get some toilet paper in here? Because I'm going to take a big fat shit soon. While you're eating, I let her know. While you're eating, you pig-like, pathetic, embarrassing state of slave, I'm going to chew my mouth open. I'm going to take a fat shit, and it's going to waft the smell, right? While DeCastro's in there putting tampons up his ass to avoid shitting, I take a nice big shit and waft it right through the door. Whoever the pig-like creature is there sitting there and eating and pretending like they don't have any liability or morality in human trafficking and holding my body there unlawfully, right? And of course, I say pig with the most euphemistic tonality and presentment, because ultimately, I really don't hate any of these people. Like, unlike DeCastro at court, who said he hates all pigs and all the rest of it, I use the pig thing to trigger so we can all come to the next level, but I actually have no hate for these people. They know not what they do. If they knew better, they'd do better. I mean, what slave would want to show up and work at a jail every day? Like you could go to jail and then immediately have the suffering mitigated just by realizing that someone across from you is choosing to come there every day for a job. There's such a low-life slave with no talents and abilities and skills or heart that the best they could do in life is be incarcerated half the day and babysit people in cells who are being human trafficked. That's the best you have to offer. That's the best your life's going to get. So I go, I only have to do X amount of days here. You're here for the next 20 years for your pension, you pathetic bondage slave. I got it easy. A lot of these places, people work overtime. You go to sleep and wake up and the same slave is still there. It's almost like he's doing time with you. They think that it matters because they're getting a paycheck, right? Doesn't matter. I'm getting paid in experience and true values. You're getting $40,000, $60,000 a year to be a bondage slave and be incarcerated half your life for the next 20 years. Great stuff. The karma that's going to come with that, you dumb slave. Half the people I talked to from the jail just got operations. The guy had fucking scars all down him. Another one has seizures and just had a stroke. The other one's kids just died in a DUI. They can't figure out. They're so dumb, these slaves. They come hobbling out of the fucking private prison they're doing human trafficking in. And I go, hey, can we get some water? You just kicked us out in the desert. And they're like, nah, we can't help you. So then I start getting into it with them and prodding and poking them. And they all start revealing their life and why their life's so hard. And they start victiming to me, right? I start finding out every one of them has a horrible life, horrible life story, hates themselves and their life, their family hates them, and they're cursed to who knows how many generations. Every one of them. And they're too fucking dumb and disconnected and divided from creation to look around and go, why is everyone having horrible luck here? Luck. That's the word they use. Why is everyone's like fate so terrible here? Why is everything going down the drain? Why are we all so ugly and obese and diseased and disconnected from truth and God? Why do all our families seem to have bad things happening to them? They look around and can't even see and figure out what's happening. This is the world you're living in with these people. And then they'll talk down to you like they know something you don't about the system. They're so fucking out of it. So Stockholm syndrome and mind and heart controlled. It's beyond embarrassing and it's shameful. You know, I go off on these people and then I catch myself going, wow, you really are this fucked up and retarded. You really are this faithless. You really are this disempowered. You don't know who and what you are and what you're doing and what you're a part of, do you? Because if you did, maybe you do better and have better and be better. You almost have to take pity on them and forgive them for their slavish beast system like ways. Go ahead, Bryan O'Shea. You cut out there on your back now. It's good to see you.
You too. I got a little wind action. Fucking. I just want to keep fucking going off on motherfuckers, dude. They can't get themselves fucking arrested, dude. Bryan from here's the deal is gonna fucking say, is Bryan O'Shea one of them? Yeah, you dumb motherfucker. Just take the plates off, dude. What the fuck is, dude? Oh my god, dude. I know I'm like Tarek, bro. I'm like basically a fucking retard that's kind of like following Paul. I don't know if Tarek seems like he's full of shit. He should have got pulled over if he has no plates. He tries to act like he's about something, but whatever, dude. Even if you're a fucking retard, you don't know what you're doing like me, dude. I'm figuring this shit out on the fly. And fucking, I'm learning a lot from this. You fucking pussy ass punk motherfuckers can't do nothing, dude. You got the platform already. You can't fucking get arrested. What? Pro 777. I'm just gonna stay on your ass, and you and Jason Lindgren and Rose. I'm gonna keep the pedal right on you, fucking motherfuckers' throats, dude.
Rights don't exist anymore, Bryan O'Shea. You don't have a freedom to speak. You don't have a freedom from being searched and seized. You don't have a freedom to travel. Rights and freedoms don't exist anymore, so there's really no point in you expecting other people to engage in what they think is a fantasy, right?
Yeah, dude, just drop the fucking childhood fucking games of you were indoctrinated in a school and you learned to walk in a line and put your hand on the other kid's back and go in timeout and go to detention and fucking follow rules. It's okay. Snap out of it. Give your head a shake. You know what I mean? It's okay. We're all fucking retarded one way or another.
Education is a weapon whose effect depends on who holds it in his hand and what it is aimed at, whom it is aimed. So that's what we have, right? Just like Stalin and Lenin and all the other socialist, fascist, collectivist, doesn't matter what ist you want to label, it's all kind of the same thing. They all said, we're going to use the educational system to indoctrinate all the slaves and get them to a point eventually where they'll own nothing and be happy, and they will love their servitude. They'll even believe that the slavery is all there is that's fit for them. So that's what we're dealing with on the whole. Folks that even when they yell Republitard lingo and they say, we're for Constitution, we're for rights, free, their whole purview, their whole vision is in the box that they were born in of the public fool system and what it taught them and what it left out. So to them, consent to the governed is like they never heard that before, because at some point they stopped teaching ethics and civics and morals, right? You remember that, guys? You remember when American schools used to teach ethics, logic, morals, and civics and philosophy to grade school students? No more. They don't even teach it to college students in higher education. Those are electives. You have to elect to become a good person, because you can't be a good person without being taught logic, morals, ethics, and civics. That used to be what mommy and daddy taught you. No longer, because you don't have any ethical, logical, moral, civil parents, men and women who care about truth and do what's right. We don't have that anymore on the whole. So it would make sense that we don't have that anymore. No one needs that or wants that anymore, they think. So the school's not going to teach that anymore. Your Parents aren't going to live it and teach it, and the schools stop living it and teaching it. And that's why this culture and society is in complete disarray and decay. And that's why the chaos theorists are running a train on everyone with problem, reaction, solution. Because most folks can't think. Most folks have a toxic feeler system and broken heart. Most folks don't have experiential wisdom that they can draw on or are taught, right, to correlate or to cite. And that's why the law has taken a backseat to statute, policy, and code, and corporatism, which is really fascism, the merger of state and corporate powers. Because you chimpanzee slaves need to be governed, apparently, and people have to be paid for them to do it. Because we can no longer govern ourselves. Quite the opposite. When someone who can govern themselves brings the authentic, eternal truth to everyone's table and the foundations of the law of this land, they say, you're a sob, sick, crazy person. You're smoking too much weed. We got a right to vote and pay tax. Yeah, you just don't get it. Your own founders went to war for 10% tax on tea, and you're sitting here giving a third of what you create every year, and you think it's normal. You're born inside the prison, and you can't even detect you're in a prison or see the walls. That's why mind and heart control is so effective. The folks who are under it never know they're under it. You know, I gave the old cliche to Bryan yesterday. Birds born in a cage think flying free is an illness. That's exactly what we have here. The Hopi prophesied at Jennifer's going complaining before. Not complaining. She's expressing frustration, and I get it. I'm guy number one for that, not putting her down. But she's like, women shouldn't have to do this, because I've said that in the past. Women shouldn't have to be doing this because the men won't. But this is prophesied. The Hopi said, in the time when the cobwebs are in the sky, the women will be forced to do what the males will not. The cobwebs are the chemtrails, and we're here. And now women are having to stand for rights, freedom, and principles because the males won't. On the whole, the majority of them won't. That's how sad and pathetic and shameless you fucking slaves are. You got your women doing what's true and what's right more than you. Some of them. The majority, again, if we go to the whole on both sides, majority are inauthentic corporate males and females. But I have a list of women who are doing what the majority won't. You know? That's a pathetic place to be. Again, so what did they say? We'll repeat the cliches over and over. They call me Paulie Cliche, aka Mr. Wonderful. Strong men create good times. Weak men create hard times. Where do you think we're at right now, ladies and gentlemen? And going into more and more each day? Probably weak men creating hard times, I would think. So the only remedy to that is going to have to be, we're going to have to start becoming strong men, if nothing else, including the women. We're going to have to become strong, logical, capable, ethical, moral, unwavering, faithful men to fulfill our purpose here at this time. If not, we're going to get more weak and we're going to get more hard times. That's pretty damn clear to me. The last 4 years has proved it. I had a woman who owned a business said I was the only one. Only one. I'm not proud of that. That's not bravado. I'm disgusted. I just left after that. I said, I'm gone. Done. I turned my back on all you slaves. She said I was the only one during the 4 years pandemic who offered to come down to her building and protect it if necessary. To come down to her building and stand outside armed and ask everybody coming in and out of there what their business was there. Because she had people coming to her job telling her, in or out of uniform, they were going to lock her down and take her livelihood and put her in the fucking poorhouse over what might be in the air. That some say, if it is there, was put there on purpose. We won't get into that. Only one. Police, military, all you scum. I want to spit in your face talking to this woman. The fact that I had to be scared. I had to be shook scared and go in there to do what's right. And she had to tell me that not one of you beer drinking, steak guzzling, police, military, cowboy slaves who were in and out of her restaurant every day didn't offer a motherfucking thing in the way of upholding the law, in the way of protecting your fellow woman and your community. You make me sick. An ex-heroin addict with no other career prospects and no degree had to offer this woman what the rest of you should have known to do because you're supposedly leaders, scared or not. That's a pathetic place to be in your culture and society, because I've never been part of it, let's be clear. For an ex-heroin addict loser failure with no prospects of career or degree, having to, at that time, come into her business and offer her what the rest of you haven't is a pathetic, shameful place to be, whether you're aware of it or not. And you could tell by the look in her eyes. You wonder why these women are done. You wonder why they're taking all your shit in court. You wonder why they're going off to eat pussy and do girls' night out. Because you men are abominable. You're pathetic and embarrassing. You're sickening in your cowardice. I could tell by the look in her face. She goes, you know what? I appreciate this, but no thank you. She goes, and just so you know, you were the only man who asked me if there was anything that you could do for me, while the rest of them came in there, drank their beer, slapped the waitress on the ass, eat their jalapeno poppers, and go back to their pathetic, weak-ass household to raise another pathetic, weak-ass family. And you want to sit here and talk rights and freedom and principles and faith and conservatism and Donnie and the rest of it and making America great again? You ain't that, and you don't deserve that. You deserve exactly what you're getting and you're going to get. Slavery and motherfucking genocide. And if you're lucky, you get to pimp and hoe between now and then to stay safe. You get to suck that dick to live another day. Yeah, that's what your outlook is. Pretty bleak, huh? Love your fate. All you weak-ass, inauthentic corporate males who want to leave women to twist in the wind because you have no civility about you. You have no ethics and moral compass. We're so far from the chivalrous past of the knights and their code of honor. We're so far the other way. Beyond despicable. Go ahead, Mr. O'Shea. Your thoughts?
Yeah, like codes of honor. That's why, like, when I was locked up for a little while, I was like, oh, fuck, man. I could get into a fight in here, you know? This fucking 6'8", 330-pound dude was kind of pissed me off. I was like, not that I was going to fucking fight him or win the fight, but it's like, back to the things with like chivalry, like when you slap someone and like, oh, let's duel. The whole point was to show up with a gun and like, usually they end up working it out. But the point is you're going to show up and like potentially shoot at each other or whatever. But yeah, man, the reason I'm on Crow 777's ass and Jason Lindgren and these other motherfuckers, dude, like when I was at the Flat Earth Festival, we were handling some business. You know, we were doing some on the boots activism. We're going to arrest one kid for trespassing, and then Just Jack spoke up. He's like, you need a fucking warrant and all this stuff. So the dude, cop back down. We're at his property, fucking, you know, fucking, he's got a little shooting range over there. We got fucking AKs and different things, fucking having a good old time. Those AKs are fucking terrifying, dude. Anyone who's like, oh my God, the street shit, it's so fun and drill music. Dude, you're around an AK and you hear that shit, dude. I was like a little fucking bitch, dude. That thing, the sound of that thing turned me into a fucking bitch, dude. Immediately. I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. It's fucking terrifying.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Bryan O'Shea, but that's okay because I feel like I'm part of your life now. I feel like whatever you're sharing has brought me into your life, and I'm a part of it. I feel like I was almost there. Yeah, you know, we only lost 20 people on that. Whatever that ramble was, only lost 20 people right there. So I'm going to start talking now to get them back. But I appreciate whatever you just were sharing there.
Yeah, let me just finish it up, though. Let me wrap it up.
Okay. All right. So we're another 20? You want to drop another 20 or?
No, just give me like 30 to a minute.
Okay. Maybe if I put, I'm going to put Talcott over you because that tends to keep the numbers. Go ahead. Just keep going.
All right. So fucking, the point is that, like, I know Witsit gets it. He's done some shit on the ground, like camping out at fucking nature reserves, but I don't know what he does in court. I assume he just does pro se or speaks for, not pro se. He just doesn't use a lawyer. He talks for himself. So, but it's like people like that, like Witsit gets it, Just Jack. Like these motherfuckers are down, dude. These motherfuckers are cool, but like, how do they roll? Are they rolling with license plates and IDs? You know, are they giving up IDs? Where's their videos if they're not, dude? Where are they on? Why are they not coming over here having conversations? So fuck those motherfuckers, dude. You're pussy, dude. Fuck you, dude. For real. You're all pussy, dude. You're all pussy, dude. Fucking homeless bum's gonna call you a bunch of pussies, bro. With your AKs and everything, bro. You're pussy.
Wow, because it's easy for you to get arrested and whatever. You don't have anything. You don't have anything, Bryan O'Shea. It's easy for you. We got big houses and bitches next to us who need us to pay for shit, hair and nails and all that. Easy for you to say. That's the rap they'll give you. All right, let's go to fucking. They told me the same thing, by the way. All right, it's just another cop out. Network equals net worth unless you're surrounded by a bunch of cowardly bitches, in which case you may be worth a lot of money, but you're worthless as a man in character, values, and principles. So let's be clear on that differentiation, right?
There is one currency that will never be touched by inflation. It will always be high in value. This currency is not Bitcoin or gold or real estate. It is personal influence. How do you build it when you have nothing? I have some simple rules for you. Number one, close your stupid mouth. You talk too much. Play the 80-20 rule. Let the other person talk 80% and you 20% of the time. Kill your ego. Number two, who questions leads. Apply again the 80-20 rule. When you talk, use 80% of the time for asking questions. This is how you find out what the other person really wants and how you can connect to this, what you really want. Number three, dig for deep desires. You need to listen and question well because you want to get to deep desires of a person and then help them achieve them. Some want power, some want wealth, some just want peace. Help them and you will be helped. This is influence. Number four, keep records. When you talk to someone, listen like your life depends on it. And afterwards make notes that you can look up before you meet again. The world is small, but the desires are big and will rarely change. Number five, do not be a suka. Influential people hate fake flattery. They heard it 1,000,000 times. Be sincere with your compliments. Don't say yes to everything. Influential people hate and exploit weak people, but will support strong people if they are humble and loyal. Number six, be humble. Influential people will value you by the size of your ego. If you have a big ego, if you are easily triggered and criticize others often, then you are not just annoying, but you are a potential problem. Leave your ego outside of the door before
That's
you
me,
enter a
sometimes.
room of influence. But take in your honor and your integrity. And finally, of course, number seven, be a leader. A true leader looks out for his people without expecting return. A true leader will take responsibility for mistakes and improve quickly. A true leader acts never out of ego, but always out of honor. This is how his power grows, day by day. If you don't have a lot of money and assets, there is only one way to come to influence: honor. Honor is never what you own or what you want, but what you give to the right people. This is your influence. Be honorable.
I can agree with that for the most part. Pretty much touching on what we were speaking on the whole first hour, hour and a half. It's not what you have, what you own, what you want. It's about who and what you are and what you serve and what you're able to give to the world and other people through your firsthand experience that you've gained. Right. So, Mr. DeCastro and others, if you want to be the leader that you say you are, then you're going to have to take accountability when you make mistakes or when you're wrong. You can't get into your feelers and your ego and just shut down and block off everyone else and escape back to your falsely empowered, codependent hole full of dupes and gullible, naive slaves. There's a reason you contacted me, because you know I live this truth and you know I have experience and wisdom, And you know that I'm a stand-up man with a good heart on some level. That's why you folks came to get me in the tent with nobody and nothing, right? So let's stay on that. Let's stand on that. Let's cultivate a mutual respect for each other, because while you see me that way for good reason, I have a hard time seeing you guys back the same way for good reason. With that said, let's move forward here. Let's get on a roll here. So speaking of Mr. DeCastro, let's just show how he came right out of jail back to like grifting overdrive. He and the others are in grifting overdrive lately, right? With the you know, buy my trifold. I'm free, but the trifold's not. You got to buy it, you know. And when you get it, well, I'm gonna show it to you. He's gonna give you some instructions, right? And nowhere in this video does he give you the instructions of say fuck the pigs, cry at court, submit completely, and get 100,000 ready for an attorney. He never tells you that. Why is that not in the trifold, right? This is what I mean. If you're gonna sell and hawk the trifold, could we make another fold, quad fold, and at the bottom it says cry at court, bitch up after 3 days in the hole, come back to court completely sullen and submissive, submit to the attorney of your rights, and then fork over 100 G's to get some beta male to talk for you? That's the fourth fold of the quad fold. We never get into that part, it seems. I guess that's not as good for promotion and marketing and business, maybe, is what it is. All right, let's get to it. Grifting overdrive.
Elbow goes in the window.
Castro.
Right there. There it is, right there.
There it is.
Now, with this hand
Elbow
up in the air,
in the window.
this hand up in the windowsill right here, I'm all set. The most I'm going to do is take the same hand right here, reach down and slightly roll my window down.
Got it.
Just a scooch. I'm all set up. I'm in touchdown position. This hand is rolling camera. This hand is up here so that I can reach up and grab my trifold and my proof of identification and my license. Everything is up in my visor.
There it is. Wait a second. So just imagine this. When you guys get stopped, all 500,000 subscribers, and it's going to grow like crazy now that he's back and he got a reversal from court. They think he won. Oh, man, the marketing promotion is going to be insane for all the dupes and Trump tards to get on board. Did you hear him? Reach right up in this visor and get this trifold that I just sold you, along with your license and registration and all your papers, please, showing that you're a good submissive citizen slave with no private property and that all your property is owned by the state, and that you support big corporations. Yeah, just retry. If you got the license, registration, all the rest of it, well, what are you worried about? What is this? This is activism for inactive slaves. It's amazing. Just reach right up and get all your paperwork that establishes you have no more rights and freedoms and that you're a corporate entity. Boy, you're fucking pathetic. I'm going to continue to insult you, and this is not insulting, by the way. This is reality. Reality seems insulting. Truth is combative. That's why they say get the point. Because giving motherfuckers truth, especially bitch-ass motherfuckers, is like sticking them with a knife. Hurts them so bad in their little heart. Get the point, right? So I'm going to keep giving you and your constabulary there, your constituency, the point about what you're actually doing and saying and serving. You're already a bitched up slave. Just get the license and reg, hand it to them, say, I'll submit to everything you are and say in policy and code. I'm not interested in natural rights and the law of the land. Thank you for your service. Salute the flag, non-flag, which isn't an American flag. It's United States corporate flag. Salute the corporate flag and go take a knee like Colin Kaepernick at the next football game. Why are you wasting our time, energy, attention for the rest of us who understand natural rights and are actually standing on something and don't want to present all the slave paperwork? I'm confused. Can someone help me here?
That copper comes up to my window and he says, do you know why I pulled
Overturn Terry versus Ohio.
How come you didn't pull over right away? If he says, hey, can I get your license, registration,
OTDO?
Great. Because this hand is not going to have a camera in it. The one that I got my hand in now. My camera's in this hand over here.
Chili DeCastro for governor.
Like goalpost. Now from right here, I'm going to reach over and I'm going to, with the same hand that this phone's in, I'm going to reach over and grab.
Okay, guys, this is the official. You got this hand here, window. This hand here, console. What I'm going to do is look up for my trifold, my license and reg, and all my slave documents. And then I'm going to take No, not this hand. This hand here. And I'm going to reach over and I'm going to give the officer a hand job. I'm going to give him a hand job. And I'm going to tell him finish on my face. And then if you will, please put me in non-torture cuffs. Put me in non-torture cuffs, the digital kind, because DeCastro's for face scanning and imprinting and digital cuffs, he says. That's what he says. He's for, put me in the digital cuffs after you finish, and please go through my documentation and observe my trifold. Right? Yeah, that's your fucking advice from the constitutional law scholar. Give them all the jurisdiction and documentation showing they have personal subject matter and geographical jurisdiction over you. Great fucking stuff from a non-law scholar. This is how you all get scammed by presidents and politicians. This is how you all get scammed online by grifters. Hey, by the way, guys, on your way out, because I'm in touch with Chile, right? This is all for effect. It's entertainment. We're really working behind the scenes. Guys, just leave your name and number on the way out, social security number and the rest, because I'm going to contact him and get you guys some free trifolds, okay? So on the way out, just leave all that for me. We're doing business here. It'll work out great for you guys. Don't worry about stolen identities. You know, don't worry about some man from Pakistan buying an AK from that valley with your debit card. It's not going to happen. I'm going to make sure of it, okay? We're here for safety. We're here to do good business. We're here to help you people, okay? Right. God, you people are fucking embarrassing and pathetic.
License, registration, and proof of insurance. That is in my trifold right here.
Yeah.
It's inside my trifold. Here's my license, registration, and proof of insurance right there. I got everything right there.
Yeah, I have everything there that says I'm deeply in contract with the state of corporate entity because I'm a statist, political, body politic, unspoken social contract slave boy. There it is. It's tucked like it's tucked in my prison wallet. When I went to prison, I tucked my registration and license right between my ass cheeks, so that the guards and everyone would know who and what I was and what I served, to know that I'm a corporatist fascist slave with no natural rights. There it is. Hold on, folks. I got to reach into my prison wallet to pull out my license and reg. Hold on, I'm getting it out. Wes Watson taught me this online. I don't even need to keep it there when I'm out on the street, but I do for some reason. For some reason, I keep my trifold and my license and reg in my prison wallet when I'm riding around the street. No one knows why. I'm not quite sure why. Paul Unslaved says I do it because I never had a father in my life and I like things in my rectum. That's obviously not the reason. I keep it there, come to think of it, because it's handy. It's protected there and it's handy. It's easily accessible. You're going to take this hand, this one right here, reach deep into your prison wallet and pull out all your statist identifiers and contracts to present to your daddy master on the side of the road who's pushing policy on everyone at the expense of rights and the law. Yes, we are. We're here today.
See how that works? I'm just going to
see how that works. There it is.
I have to provide by law. Right there. License, registration, proof of insurance. I have everything right next to my trifold. Now, no matter what he says from there, I don't care what he says. How fast were you going? Are you going to your grandma's house? Are you the big bad wolf? No matter what he says, I'm not going to answer any of his questions. I take my license, registration, proof of insurance that will be in my left hand, and I give it to him. You got it on video? Not your actual. No, that's not that, but that's got my DL number right on the top.
Ooh.
D19.
DL number.
You have your actual driver's license?
Well, I mean, not as an actual photocopy of my driver's license, a laser copy. Actually, if I take the rest of the tape off there, it looks prettier than my actual driver's license. There you go. I don't want to deal with, he didn't identify himself. He didn't have his registration. He didn't have his current ID. He didn't have his current insurance card. No. I have everything ready to go. It's right here with the same hand right here. I'm going to take it like this. And I'm just going to slip my information right out the cracked window for that jackboot thug pig. Put it in the comment section. JBTP, jackboot thug pig. Put it in the comment section. I don't have a back and forth with the pig. I don't do that. I do not have a back and forth with that. Right. Where are you going? Where are you heading? All that? No. I'm not going to answer any questions. I'm not even going to entertain it. Not going to.
I'm not answering questions.
I'm going to give him my license, registration, proof of insurance. I'm just going to slip it right there. That's how it's going to work. Here's my license.
Spending hundreds of thousands rather than answer questions.
I don't even interact with this fucking pig. I give him all my corporate identifiers. proving I'm a statist deep in admiralty contracts. I give him all the things proving I have no private property or natural rights. You think I'm going to have a back and forth with him? Definitely not. Definitely not, people. We don't stop the statism and the corporate contracts. We don't stop. Where are we at, Julie? 500,000 subscribers? Oh, we're still... Yeah! New campaign! Stop the torture cuffs! You know, a lot of you folks out there are harmed every day. A lot of you are harmed by torture cuffs, and we need to stop that because it's upsetting and painful. And the way we're going to do that, you guessed it, donate to my fundraiser and buy my products. Absolutely. And I'm running for governor. Newsflash, everyone. You're going to be so excited. These are fucking killing my eyes. I don't know how these clowns do this. Those are Jennifer's glasses. I just stole them to do the bit. They're fucking ruining my eyes. My life started flashing before me. Everything was crossing. My head started hurting. I can't. I tried to carry the bit out. You know, I got to commit more to the bit.
We got to get some red glasses, dude. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I need to get a non-prescription one so I can continue the bit. The Paulie DeCastro, ignore codes. I'm not delete laws. That's brand name. I don't want to get like sued or something for causing some non-harm. I don't want to get sued by DeCastro. He's got a lot of lawsuits against other YouTubers. I don't want to get sued for upsetting him. You know, so I do Paulie DeCastro and I do ignore codes because we don't want to delete laws. Laws are inherent, hierarchical, based on the creation and natural law. It's part of the simulation in the universe. We don't want. Hold on, because they like that. The folks were like, we don't want to delete laws. We want to ignore codes. Codes are for inauthentic corporate males and females who think that statute, policy, and code is. Hold on. I couldn't find it. I got to look for it again on Cornell University because they have it somewhere, but they're making it harder to find. I got to look it up. But look right here. Even Wikipedia understands political philosophy. The phrase consent to the governed refers to the idea that government's legitimacy and moral right to use state power is justified and lawful only when consented to by people or society over which the political power is exercised. And of course, Cornell University will give you folks the understanding that consent to the governed, it says specifically, is each and every man and woman must consent. So in order for statute, policy, and code to be given the force of law, it has to be consented to by man and woman. Now, how do we get around that? By consenting to it completely. I just take this hand right here and I grab my license, registration, insurance, and all the rest of the corporate identifying contracts and hand it right over to prove I'm deep in their jurisdiction and have no understanding of God or God's law or the law of this land. And trifold, that's the key. See, the last four items, don't worry about that. I'm not having a back and forth with the big. It's the trifold. That's where the magic happens. Couldn't you tell the last time I got arrested? I whipped out my trifold out of my prison wallet and they dragged me off for 180 days. And then I insulted Mrs. Zimmerman. She's married to a pig. So I had to go in there and insult her and point it out. And then they shit all over me, told me sit the fuck down, spanked me like the bitch that I am. And I hired another beta male for another 100,000 to get me out of the trouble I got myself into, sticking my fat, scholarly, journalistic nose where it doesn't belong, because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about on any level. I don't need to. I have millions of dollars and millions of dumb followers. Why would I choose to be a man like Paul Unslaved and others? There's too much work in that. There's too much sacrifice and consequence. I may have to go live in an icky trailer. Ugh. All right, let's get back. Bryan, are you there? I can't see anymore. I've gone completely legally blind, not lawfully, legally blind. Actually, there's no difference. I don't understand a difference between legal and lawful. It's all the same to me. Let's get back. I don't know. I can't hear you. I've gone blind and deaf. I've always been blind and deaf. Hold on. This is a new DeCastro bit I'm coming up with right on the spot, that he's actually a blind and deaf man. That's why he can't understand the law or legal versus lawful, or the fact that none of his crap is actually working ever. Sorry, let's get back.
Here's the rental agreement.
This hand.
And my driver's license is right here.
If you're poor and white or black or brown, don't reach around because you could
Whoa,
die.
don't reach around.
It's a real
Hold
thing. It's
on.
a reality here. So now I'm not going to get myself killed because I didn't follow a very rigid set of policies, procedures, and protocols. I'm recording everything with my phone from over here.
Right.
Everything's being recorded. You see that?
I see
Phone is
that.
facing me, so my head is the most
I'm
important
seeing
thing.
that.
Now, once I've given him my license, registration, proof of insurance, I'm filming everything. He asked me where I'm going. I say I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
Okay. If you ask me another question, you're violating my rights, and I'll file a lawsuit against you. Write your ticket, do what you're going to do, but don't harass me any further.
Your Honor, I'm showing him on camera that I'm invoking my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Piggy loses qualified immunity for questioning me. Say it with me. Piggy loses qualified immunity for questioning me.
Piggy loses qualified. Say it with us.
Now, if he says, where are you going? Where are you coming from?
Right.
Do you have a firearm in the car? I'm then going to take my trifold and point at it, and I'm going to go down the list of questions. Don't ask me where I'm going. Don't ask me where I'm
I'm going to take my hand and put it right down his pants and stroke him to completion.
It says everything right there on your freaking trifold. You don't have to answer any questions. He says, where are you coming from? And I say,
okay, my left hand's up here, right? My right
Your
hand's
Honor,
down
I've
his
shown
pants,
the pig
right?
at the window
I'm
that I
stroking this
clearly
piggy,
have
right?
identified that I've invoked my Fifth Amendment, and he already asked me where I'm going. He's violated my Fifth Amendment right. I'm showing him on video. It's on the literature. Your Honor, this is for my federal civil rights lawsuit.
Your Honor,
pig, I would just
yeah, we don't submit to the pig on the side of the road, but when we go into court, we say, Your Honor. Now, Paul Enslaved is the mean one. He goes into court and he presumes it's an honor for them to be talking to him because he's one of the few real respectable, honor-able men who stands on the law, truth, rights, freedom, principles. That's his rap, not mine. I'm trifold guy, right? I can't commit to the glasses. I really want to do it for this audience, but they're killing my eyes. I got to get new ones if I'm going to do this bit. I'll get them today or tomorrow. If let me know. Like, share. I'm going to do what they do. Like, share, subscribe, and buy shit if you like the DeCastro bit. I'm way more entertaining over here. I'm way more interesting and entertaining as them, let alone as me. There's my ego again popping up to say hi. You got to have some ego in this life to get you through this fucking circus freak show and not slit your own wrist with broken screen glass because you slammed your head into the laptop. I've talked about that in the past.
That became
In a past life, that's happened. Bryan O'Shea, please. I'm trying to relate to this audience. I'm venting a little bit.
That became the new funniest part of the bit was that I knew it was hurting your eyes. Like at first it was hilarious on its own, but then once I knew it hurt your eyes, I could only see it hurting your eyes and laughing about that from then on out. So
that's what the audience loves. The audience loves when I'm in pain and suffering. That's what the Castro and them love. When we're in pain and suffering and slavery. Can't get enough of that. They say, why is Paul Enslaved free? Why hasn't he been beaten and tased yet? When's his 180 coming like the Castro? You know what? We're going to call them up and give him a 180. Yeah. All right. I think I'm done. Are we done with Trifold Guy? Do you want more? I mean, I can keep riffing and doing the bit, but I think you get the point. I think we get it.
Did you see that hug? Did you see the hug he gave the attorney? He's like, he would have sucked him off right there, dude.
Yeah, he grabbed his ass too. I watched it. He grabbed his own attorney's ass. And then they said, whoa, hey, the guy yelled at him. Did you see in the court right at the end? He grabbed his ass in the cuffs and he goes, whoa, hey, that's an arrestable offense.
Yeah, because that's That's Chili's fucking freak off, dude. He fucking gets cops at gay bars. And he's like, you can it's like getting a black guy. But
all right, can we take a vote here, O'Shea? I'm gonna take a vote right now, and we'll come back to the results. I want to know how many folks. Can we take a vote here? Enslaved as Paul Enslaved or Paul Enslaved as Paulie DeCastro ignore codes. So I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna live on the air. DeCastro ignore codes. There's me. You can hear me in the background. I'm sure. We're going right over Bryan O'Shea real quick. Just stay with me here. Okay. We're going right over and we're gonna start a poll because I'm curious how many folks out there. Paulie as and then the choices will be himself completely or Paulie DeCastro.
Dude, the Paulie DeCastro with the glasses is a fucking
okay. You're right.
What I'm saying.
So in parentheses with gay red glasses. Okay. Because I mean, even that, what constitutional law scholar man, other than like a journalist, Anderson Cooper, if you get what I'm saying, what man buys red glasses like that? Seriously. I mean, am I off on that?
Probably like a bathhouse gay freak, dude. He probably just one of those LA.
Oh, O'Shea, please. You're fantasizing.
Freak is.
I don't want to go full gay.
Just on fucking Grinder, just don't even know their names, dude.
Wow. Okay.
Fucking maniac, dude.
Man. Okay, so we're taking poll here. Something we're used to at Team DLZ. Taking poll. We're taking poll here, and we're right out of the gate. 65% want Pauly DeCastro with red glasses. I didn't put gay in there, with gay red glasses. It wouldn't let me fit it. Too many words. Part of his shtick, right? It's one of those things where it's like they take these courses and the course teaches them, if you put glasses on, you're immediately received better by 30% of the audience. You think I'm kidding? They did studies on this, that if you put glasses on that are a certain color or type of glasses, it influences the audience's opinion of you. That's where these folks are at, right? That's what it's all really about. You know, they all want to seem like nice, kind, polite bookworms with their mama's spirit, domesticated and civilized. You know, like he told me, Pauly boy, the reason they shadow ban you is because you smoke weed on your platform. No, that's not it, DeCastro. Case you didn't notice, this is why I know you're a disingenuous, lying agent scum. Case you didn't notice, there's videos with millions of views from Vice and others where people are shooting heroin on live on camera. They're banging dope in their main vein. They're shoving poppers up their anus, right? So that's not shadow ban. Poppers up the anus along with a trifold license and registration, that's not frowned upon. But smoking the God's herb is what got me shadow banned, right? You're lying. You're bullshitting me. You're sucking YouTube and Google's policy cock. You're trying to gaslight me too, because you're an agent, if not of a corporate endeavor, of Shaitan itself. I don't necessarily think you're part of a corporate agent collective. I think, like most people, you're a spiritual agent of distraction, deception, and disempowerment and delusion. It's usually how it comes. For you to sit there and try to gaslight me that my first channel was shadow banned because I was smoking reefer. Give me a break. 3/4 of the rap videos, they're fucking bitches drinking lean and chiefing 8-gram cigars, and they got millions of views. Cut the games. Cut the nonsense. And the fact that you would even support that, even if it was, I was shadow banned for smoking weed, you ain't going to ride with that? I don't have a right to smoke pot in my own fucking house? So I can't have freedom of speech or access to the algorithm because I smoke reefer? Pathetic. You're an un-American trash. Even the founders smoke weed. Well known. These folks are the antithesis of anything we see as the founding of America. All right, so we got some results here so far. At least 3/4 of the audience prefers me as Pauly DeCastro ignore codes with the red glasses. So we got some data points here to work off of. Here's another beta male coward who should be disemboweled with a wooden cooking spoon, to steal a line from Mr. George Carlin, the late, great George Carlin, who I don't identify with or agree with politically at all, pretty much, in a lot of other areas. But you know, he used to do his list. Here's another example of a man who should be hit over the head with a sledgehammer. Nathan Palmer, thank you for your contribution, sir. We don't stop. And I have a quad fold on the way, right? It's a scan of my stomach, because I noticed a month back that when I lean over at a certain angle doing this broadcast, my stomach folds in 4 different places. So I decided, being the genius that I am in marketing and reproductions, that I would scan my quad folded stomach and I would put out paperwork of the quad folded stomach. It's a picture of my quad folded stomach, and in each quad fold is my rap, right? How I would present. It's not going to help you much because you're not me, but you can buy it anyway, and you can hang on tight to it, and you can just cling to it. And then if you ever get stopped, you can just rustle it out of the fucking visor there, and you can unfold it 4 times, not 3, 4. I have an extra fold. Okay. Size does matter. You can unfold that little ditty And you can go to just start rambling off and reading off things of how I would do and speak and say. And again, not going to help you much at all, but who cares? It gives you something to cling to for security. Isn't that what slavery's all about anyway? Right? It's like the life alert bracelet. Everyone knows that the life alert bracelet's not going to work, but it gives you something to cling to. So when you're falling down the stairs, your grandmother breaking her hip and tumbling down from a heart attack or a stroke, you could cling to that button and press it over and over again in hopes that something's going to come out of it. It's not, but it gives you something to do, right? It's all about faith here. You got to have faith in something, people. Fuck God, we don't have faith in God. Faith in the life alert, faith in the quadfold, the trifold, anything but the truth in God. Okay, so
go up on someone else, Paul,
and review it. No, so Nathan Palmer wants me to buy a trifold and review it. Absolutely not. I will not support that Creighton even for $10. He has the balls to sell that trifold for $10. No, not happening. So pretty much you just lost your $10. Okay. If you want, you can put in a support ticket to Slave App and tell him that I didn't promise you anything. So you're lying to them. You just took a risk trying to give me $10. So I'd buy a trifold and review it. I'm not giving him 10 cents. Okay. I'm not even giving him the ability to say that I bought one trifold. Right? It's not happening. So you just lost that non-investment. This is why you don't gamble in life. Gambling's bad for you. You should have asked me first. Paulie, will you buy the trifold if I send you $10 and review it? I would have said no, and you'd still have your $10. No Starbucks for you today, sir. No small coffee for you, which is at least $10 at this point. Starbucks. Mimi, thank you for all you do. Much love. Peace and blessings to you and Jennifer. Thank you, Mimi. I and Jennifer want to have a word with Mimi at some point. Private. I have a fantasy going with Mimi in my mind. Jennifer. Quite frankly, I have a fantasy with pretty much any woman I bump into on here and Jennifer. Okay. But let's stay away from that. I was doing so well here. Doing so well on this family broadcast. As a journalist, a scholar, a quad folder, and many other things. Let's not degenerate here, people.
Paul, I have to address something.
Take this broadcast in the gutter, Bryan. Don't shy. What are you saying?
Fucking Dana White, dude, sucking Trump's cock, calling him the greatest, strongest motherfucker he's ever seen in his life, that he could come back. What a fucking...
He's taking bullets for everyone. We got to vote for him now. Daddy's the only thing that stands between us and the deep state and the corruption. You're just going to sell him out, Bryan O'Shea, after all he's done for you?
Dude, his fucking affect reminds me of my older brother, dude. My older half-brother. Corporate, he's a total corporate beta male business fucking guy.
Yeah, it's about $7 or $8. Jennifer went there the other day. The little egg sandwich is like $7, and the fucking smallest coffee on the menu is like 7 something. I go, this is not working. I go, I could beat DeCastro with $1 billion, and I'm just not cool handing this broad $7 for coffee. Not okay with it. Now, trifold is another story. That's something I can cling to in times of trouble. Right? That's a lifesaver. But coffee, come on. Let's get real here, people. Okay. Let's go to David Rodriguez, who had me on one time and never been back since. And because they'll say I'm a hater and I'm jealous and envious, there may be some truth to that. You be the judge. I'm just sick of these scum. Whether I'm with him or without him, I'm that guy. I'm the John Lennon of every Beatles. I'm the guy who, if you don't watch me, I go back on heroin and I start outing everyone. And I fuck some unattractive Asian women because, hey, we have a bond. Don't judge it. Okay? So I'm that guy. It's not hating. I got a lot of love in me. John Lennon was a loving, caring man. He just wasn't into entertaining everyone's bullshit. You know? And we know what happened to him eventually, right? The assassin, non-assassin, because he was deemed a public enemy number one. Not Paul McCartney. John Lennon was. Right? So you got your Paul McCartneys in this world and you got your John Lennons. I'm that. It's not really jealous, envious, hate. It's more, what the fuck are we all doing and where's this going? Energy, right? So let's go to David Rodriguez, who won't have me back, and he doesn't have to, because when I went on there, it was DeCastro who brought me on there and gave me a whole new audience, right? Very few folks came over, but enough to do what we do. The ones who were meant to came over, and that's why this is God's will, because I can go on a platform with hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I'm only going to get a few hundred or a few thousand to come over with me. You know, this presentment, this walk, this way, this broadcast, not for the faint of heart, not for the majority. We know that. Just like rights, freedom, and principles, not for the majority. They prefer slavery and lukewarm nonsense. So let's go to him. I sent him a $2 chat, and you'll hear him read it at some point. It's kind of fun, kind of funny, calling out the fake patriotards, right? With their 80,000 views and the $2 million house and the little American flag behind them saying that they're an American and a patriot while they scream like women for Donnie Trump to be their savior. That's where we're at here. Let's go to it.
It's time to cool it down.
Patriot wear.
Take a step back.
Patriot wear. Patriot slippers, Patriot pants, Patriot coat, Patriot bath mat, bathrobe.
Trump Trump top vice president contender. JD Vance, Paul Unslaved. Thank you. You fake patriots are embarrassing. Get real. Okay. Well, thanks for the $2. So Trump's top VP contender, JD Vance, blamed Biden's rhetoric for Trump.
These grifters will take whatever they could get to lie.
Donald Trump's top contenders for his vice presidential nominee slot, Senator JD Vance blamed Joe Biden's rhetoric for the shooting at a Pennsylvania rally on Saturday. The presumptive GOP nominee spoke to supporters when gunshots rang out throughout the event. Trump gripped his ear and fell to the ground before being surrounded by Secret Service officials. In a post on True Social, the former
president. What is he reading? The fuck is this idiot reading? An account of nonsense.
Or how this
reading an account of nonsense.
But now they only have very few moves left, and one of them is what I believe the most realistic one.
Right,
is the one Scott Bennett said. Army psychological.
Where's Wano Savin to give us the update?
That has to be, to me, the big. That's going to be the chess move they use, in my opinion.
Chess move.
Blood turns to martyrdom.
Oh yeah, they're asking who this guy is. He gets. Look, you'll see. This is why at times I get a bit bitter, get a bit resentful. Oh. What's that say? 350,000 subscribers and 32,400 live streamed viewed this video. For him to sit up there and say, we need to vote for Donnie to save us all. And you wonder why. If you got to stay humble, you got to have humility in front of the creative force, and you got to stay thankful and grateful and faithful with the few you do have who are the real ones. Because if you play on that level of money and numbers, it'll get to you, right? You know, like just having to look at them and watch them. So I'm in a way thankful for that. Keeps me humble, keeps me focused on what's true, what's real, keeps me out of my desires, which seem to cause me suffering that are extremely worldly, right? But yeah, again, this is the proof that truth, rights, freedom, principles, spiritual faith is not for the majority. It's for a select few. The majority want trumping. They want shot off ears that aren't gone. They want ears that are shot with a 223 that have no bullet holes in them and are still intact. That's what they want. You know, Daddy's our hero. He's taking bullets for us. That's what they want. They want the romantic, fantastical. They want David to come on and say, Wano Slavin. By the way, David's a professional boxer. Okay. So that's a big reason why he has a constituency and a big audience, because he's a professional, famous boxer. Real man. Says vote for Daddy. Yeah, they want the fantastical, the romantical. What they don't want is the stoic, faithful presentment of having to be and do the change to get something, to be something in this world. They want to bring Wano Slavin on with a mask on. This is what this guy does. Brings on a guy with a mask or who never shows his face, who sits in a car and tells everyone, trust the plan, QAnon's on it. Just vote for Donnie, trust the plan, QAnon storm coming, that's all we got left. No, it's not. Why'd you bring me on in the first place if that's what you believe, that's all we have left? I'm just, again, I've become, like back in the day, they need someone for the day, they bring on the bearded lady, the bearded fat lady, right? We're all in a circus at this point, and all Paulie Boy is to these guys is some sidewinder attraction, right? Some side street attraction. They go, wheel in the fat bearded lady, the Sovsit who thinks God exists and natural rights and freedom and principles and faith is something that we need. Wheel him in, you know, because we want to get a good look at him and laugh and giggle and then go back to Donnie Trump and voting and wano slaving. That's all it is. I'm just a carnival sideshow attraction. All right, let's move on here. Let's go to scenes of governance. Why the hell not? We got some scenes of governance for you, Brian O'Shea. Police fatally shoot man who refused to drop knife. This is a common theme lately. A lot of folks running at the cops with knives. Never ends well. Kind of confused when that became a thing. Like it's became a trend, like TikToking and doing the silent. You know, you ever seen those, Brian O'Shea, where someone goes around their kitchen and everyone's like a statue? Some kind of trend. Do on TikTok, they go around the house and everybody's just still. I don't know what that is, but this is like a new trend on TikTok. Run at a cop with a knife. Are you down to take the TikTok challenge? Run at a cop with a knife, Brian O'Shea? Take this to the next level here.
I might climb up those grocery crates. See people fucking themselves up trying to climb up grocery crates or the egg crates or whatever. They stack them all up, and then sometimes people kick the crates under them. And they fall on the ribs, break the ribs. And they laugh. It's a TikTok challenge. How many crates can you fucking walk over without falling and hurting yourself? People died during all these challenges, bro. It's a fucking test of fucking human fucking intelligence.
Great stuff, Brian O'Shea. Fatal shooting. Let's go. Don't make me wait.
I got a fucking shot.
Yo, take your days of my life away. Fuck y'all. Fuck you, dude. Ow! Pussy bitch. Come on with it.
Hey, get more. Make sure we have ammo for this stinger.
Stinger.
Touchdown!
Yeah.
Drop it, Cody, drop it!
Yeah. Just gun down a homeless man in his tent out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, there's a little bit of cover. He should have pulled the trifold and his license out.
I don't have sight. Is he in the corner?
He's right here.
Right here? M4. Cody, it ain't fucking worth it!
It ain't working, man. Y'all did it. Come on, guys. Come on, guys.
On your right.
Oh, goddamn, fuck you. What's going on? Yeah, buddy. No stinger. Come out. Come out, get up. Fuck you. Kill you. Come in. Buddy, I'm sorry, man. I love you, dude. Put the fucking knife down. Fuck you.
You know what? I don't even want to hear it again. I don't even want to hear it again from the second view. They shot a smoke tear gas grenade in there, and then they opened the door and opened fire on him because they claim he had a knife. The guy's mentally ill, homeless, out in the middle of nowhere. And this is good governance and statism nowadays. Got to enforce that statute policy and code even in the middle of nowhere. M. Davis says it happened up the street from his house. And again, if he would have just grabbed that license and that trifold, there's a good chance that he might have made it. Okay? So keep that in mind, people. One more, O'Shea. While it is disgusting and despicable, it's a part of our reality at this point. Probably always has been on some level, so we can't escape it. We probably can't ignore it. Let's embrace the chaos and use it as inspiration to do and be and have better. Body cam shows car theft. Suspect repeatedly reached for officer's gun during a struggle. Now, see, this might actually be some good governance. The man's stealing. He's trying to steal cars. And this is very disturbing, by the way. I just want to warn everyone, officially. Clutch your trifolds if you're feeling unsafe, people. That's what you could do for the rest of this broadcast. I'm going to go ahead and give you permission to do that. Get some sound here? No sound? Panel link. Sure, I'll give you the panel link. Why not? We're live. We're hands on. Trifold. Come on, reach for it.
Get the fuck off me. What's the blood? 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 No. What's the blood? Fucking get us close. He won't get off me. Get him off. Get the fuck off me. I'm gonna fucking take you. Put your hands behind your back. Come on. Oh my God.
Yeah, kick him. That's it.
Stop grabbing for my gun.
Yeah.
Hands behind your back. You're gonna get fucked. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back. Stop reaching for my gun. Stop reaching for my gun. Stop reaching.
Oh man, what a world, huh?
Stop reaching for my gun. 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 I get the cup on this. I got this here. You fucking. No. Pull this hand. I'm gonna fuck. Pull this hand. I'm trying.
4 guys and they can't get this guy in custody. Incredible.
Got it. Oh, he's gonna fight. Oh.
4 guys and they can't get him into custody. We need a retraining program. Joshua B says, I sent this to you instead of buying the trifold. Much respect, Paul. And he puts a laughing face. Thank you, Joshua B, for your contributions. That feels good, knowing that I don't have to come on and beg like Tilly DeCastro, either on here or from a jail cell, or push bullshit products in order to get gifts and contributions in the private from extended friends and family. That was cousin Josh B, is who that was right there. Broken system, broken trust. Did you give me the high sign? You got something for me?
I actually was like, can you give me 5 minutes?
Okay, we're not doing it with every day. With you believe this, kid? Believe this? He's in my back doing this. He's in the back going like this. And I go, oh, he must be giving me the sign that he's ready to go. Bring him up. What does he do? Hits me with the Kansas City shuffle, right? I try to zig, he zags. Oh, no. I was telling you 5 minutes from the back. This meant 5 minutes. Don't bring me up. I swear it's done on purpose. He doesn't do this at court. He doesn't go Slavin. And then when Slavin goes, yes, Josh. Oh, I meant 5 minutes. I'll be back.
5 minutes.
What the fuck? Like, you could have just not done anything. And you know that there's a private chat there, right? You could have just wrote 5 minutes back there. This is not indicative of 5 minutes. This is the universal sign for hi, let me in. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play. All right. Help me out here, please. Let's try to get it together. Try to put yourself in my position if that's possible. I know that that's a shocking simulation to have to be part of. Being me. No one wants to be me. Let's be honest about it. Let's see here. Former, yeah, you know what? Why not? This ties right into what the fuck I've been talking about. And this is like a ex-KGB agent who came out and exposed the whole plan about how you turn a culture, a society, a country into a completely Marxist, statist, Leninist, collectivist, socialized, democratic. These are all synonyms, by the way, in case you were wondering. Yeah, how to get that all done, right? So this is, it's fairly long, but not so much. It's about 10 to 13 minutes. If you guys get bored, just let me know in the chat. We'll move on, right? But I happen to like this guy, and the information is valid, right? This is a section of an hour and a half presentment, which I know no one's able to handle that. I wouldn't even try to bring an hour and a half worth of content here to anyone, because we're like so dumbed down on attention span. People just start checking out right away. Anything past 3 to 5 minutes, they can't fucking handle it. It's a lot like the women who have sex with DeCastro, I suspect. I can't prove that. Like, they're not looking for anything past 3 to 5 minutes, and even that's a stretch. Okay? So former KGB agent Yuri Bezmenov warns America about what, ironically, oddly enough, is now everywhere at all times here. To the point where whatever I'm talking about is crazy, and the actual Leninism, Marxism, collectivism, socialism, democracy has spread its fecal matter far and wide from sea to shining sea. So let's go to that. Well, this is straight from an expert professional. I'm pretty sure this is from what, 20 years ago? So apropos, applicable now, because it takes about 20 to 30 years to really perfect this fucking mind and heart control slavery using the public fool system. And oh boy, are we there. Last 4 years was proof. Let's get to it.
Well, you spoke several times
How to demoralize a country.
Ideological subversion. That is a phrase that I'm afraid some Americans don't fully understand. When the Soviets used the phrase ideological subversion, what do they mean by it?
Ideological subversion is the process which is legitimate, overt, and open. You can see it with your own eyes. All you have to do, all American mass media has to do, is to unplug their bananas from their ears, open up their eyes, and they can see it. There's no mystery. There's nothing to do with espionage. I know that espionage intelligence gathering looks more romantic. It sells more deodorants through the advertising, probably. That's why your Hollywood producers are so crazy about James Bond type of thrillers. But in reality, the main emphasis of the KGB is not in the area of intelligence at all. According to my opinion and opinion of many defectors of my caliber, only about 15% of time, money, and manpower is spent on espionage as such. The other 85% is a slow process, which we call either ideological subversion or active measures, активные мероприятия in the language of the KGB, or psychological warfare. What it basically means is to change the perception of reality of every American to such an extent that despite of the abundance of information, no one is able to come to sensible conclusions in the interests of defending themselves, their families, their community, and their country. It's a great brainwashing process which goes very slow, and it's divided in 4 basic stages. The first one being demoralization. It takes from 15 to 20 years to demoralize a nation. Why that many years? Because this is the minimum number of years which requires to educate one generation of students in the country of your enemy, exposed to the ideology of the enemy. In other words, Marxism-Leninism ideology is being pumped into the soft heads of at least 3 generations of American students without being challenged or counterbalanced by the basic values of...
You guys are not getting it. That you're the 4th person today so far, and you're interrupting what I'm doing here. Get it through your fucking head. I'll tell you again. For the other 3 people, at least already, DeCastro's been invited here many times. He says he won't come over. He doesn't do panels. He's too good for that. Okay? So if you want to see Pauly Boy interact with your favorite truther, hero, idol that you worship, you're going to have to email him incessantly and let him know that you're watching and that you have a voice and this is what you'd like to see. Because when I try to contact these slaves privately and offer them a seat here or an interaction, they're not up for it. They can't use their trifold over here, so they're not up for it. So stop fucking coming to me and my table and asking me to have your bozo heroes online that you worship, because I've already asked them all. Mark Passio, much as I play his videos here and I think he's comical and I relate at times and I act like him, you could say. Some have said that. He won't come over here. There's people all around him who've contacted me and they go, we want you to talk to Mark. I go, what are you telling me for? Go tell your boy you're sitting around. They won't get in the room with me. That's why I say I have a modicum of respect for Bryan from High Impact Flicks, because he calls himself out when he's being a coward or a dupe. Inauthentic corporate beta male, we kind of laugh about it, but it's serious business for all of us. If you want to look at it, right? He calls himself out. He holds himself accountable, and he has conversation with me when he believes it's valuable for himself and his audience. The rest of them don't do it. And there's some folks who will say that Bryan's doing it out of damage control. I won't necessarily, namely Snafu, by the way. When I say some folks, it's pretty much him. He's 90% of that audience. I don't necessarily completely disagree. There's some folks who want me on their side or in the conversation, so I don't call them out. That's another dynamic that we have to be aware of. I'm not saying Bryan's one of them. But if you're looking for your favorite truth-tard, anarchist, patriot with a Y, patriot, P-A-Y, If you're looking for the average bozo who you idol worship online to come over and step in the gorilla cage, you're going to have to contact them. Because I got people around all of them who say, oh, we need the interaction between you and so-and-so. And I go, I'm here daily. I'm open for business. You want me to come over to you? You coming over to me. And I never hear back. So that's between the audience and these people. And when you ask them and they don't show up, it pretty much proves who and what they are and why they won't show up. Because they don't want to be held accountable. They don't want to be fucking exposed for who and what they are. And they can't grift over here and bullshit and lie and spin and cycle because they know I'll check their bitch asses. They know I'm going to hold them accountable. That's why they don't want to show up. It's easier to sit in their hole with their falsely empowered codependent buddies and their audience and sit in an echo chamber and babble on like the Babylonian infidel trash that the majority of them are. Talking online, but ain't doing nothing. Right? So I don't know what to say or do for you folks who want to see these interactions. I'm aware of the good interactions. I went out of my way to try to get them. If nothing else, to hold these people accountable and to give you folks good content. They won't show up. Stavely won't come over here. Bryan Stavely, who's on the fucking thumbnail, he's the third bozo in the bottom. He put videos of me up on his channel 3 years ago during Unslaved, when everyone else was hush-hush and wasn't doing shit, and I was getting arrested every other month for not wearing masks, for going to the courthouse, all the rest of it. He said, Paul Unslaved is the real deal. He's got the story. He's legit. Hasn't been over yet. Went from saying I was legit and posting videos about me to shitting on me and doing subliminals and saying people call him daddy. Who the fuck would do that? And then saying that I'm a coward and a bitch and all the rest of it, but won't do it to my face. Won't come over here and have a conversation. They're all frauds and grifters and bitch ass motherfuckers. They're all the same. So take that up with them. Tommy is here. Good to see Tommy. Tommy apparently on a ban from the Snafu creature. Snafu posting a community page last night saying everyone should strike me. So we're all in good company here. We're all bonding, non-bonding, because we're all going through the same life and the same trials and tribulations. And you can argue many of us have the same sordid past and history, checkered past. Of course, I have a past at Checkers. It's a fast food joint from the East Coast. Probably one of the things that got me slightly overweight. So let's move on. What was I doing? Let's get back. We got Yuri. Right. I had to stop that to remind the chat to stop asking me for shit that I've already tried to get you. That can't happen because you're dealing with 3/4 cowards and frauds and grifters. Sorry to remind you guys.
Of Americanism.
You don't.
American patriotism. The result you can see. Most of the people who graduated in the 60s, dropouts or half-baked intellectuals, are now occupying the positions of power in the government, civil service, business, mass media, educational system. You are stuck with them. You cannot get rid of them. They are contaminated. They are programmed to think and react to certain stimuli in a certain pattern. You cannot change their mind, even if you expose them to authentic information, even if you prove that white is white and black is black. You still cannot change the basic perception and the logic of behavior. In other words, these people, the process of demoralization is complete and irreversible. To get rid society of these people, you need another 20 or 15 years to educate a new generation of patriotically minded and common sense people who would be acting in favor and in the interests of the United States society.
And yet these people who've been programmed and, as you say, in place and
Yes.
who are favorable to an opening with the Soviet concept, these are the very people who would be marked for extermination in this country?
Most of them, yes. Simply because the psychological shock when they will see in future what the beautiful society of equality and social justice means in practice, obviously they will revolt. They will be very unhappy, frustrated people, and the Marxist-Leninist regime does not tolerate these people. They will join the links of dissenters, dissidents. Unlike in present United States, there will be no place for dissent in future Marxist-Leninist America. Here you can get popular like Daniel Ellsberg and filthy rich like Jane Fonda, for being dissident, for criticizing your Pentagon. In future, these people will be simply squashed like cockroaches. Nobody is going to pay them nothing for their beautiful, noble ideas of equality. This they don't understand, and it will be greatest shock for them, of course. The demoralization process in the United States is basically completed already. For the last 25 years. Actually, it's overfulfilled because demoralization now reaches such areas where previously not even Comrade Andropov and all his experts would even dream of such a tremendous success. Most of it is done by Americans to Americans, thanks to lack of moral standards. As I mentioned before, exposure to true information does not matter anymore. A person who was demoralized is unable to assess true information. The facts tell nothing to him. Even if I shower him with information, with authentic proof, with documents, with pictures, even if I take him by force to the Soviet Union and show him concentration camp, he will refuse to believe it until he is going to receive a kick in his fat bottom. When a military boot crashes then he will understand, but not before that. That's the tragic of the situation of demoralization. So basically, America is stuck with demoralization, and unless, even if you start right now, here, this minute, you start educating new generation of Americans, it will still take you 15 to 20 years to turn the tide of ideological perception of reality back to normalcy and patriotism. The next stage is destabilization. This time, subverter does not care about your ideas and the patterns of your consumption. Whether you eat junk food and get fat and flabby, it doesn't matter anymore. This time, and it takes only from 2 to 5 years to destabilize a nation. What matters is essentials: economy, foreign relations, defense systems. And you can see it quite clearly that in some areas, in such sensitive areas as defense and economy, the influence of Marxist-Leninist ideas in the United States is absolutely fantastic. I could never believe it 14 years ago when I landed in this part of the world that the process will go that fast. The next stage, of course, is crisis. It may take only up to 6 weeks to bring a country to the verge of crisis. You can see it in Central America now. And after crisis, with a violent change of power, structure, and economy, you have so-called the period of normalization. It may last indefinitely. Normalization is a cynical expression borrowed from Soviet propaganda. When the Soviet tanks moved into Czechoslovakia in '68.
I'm going to comment here on this, sir. This is part of my audience engagement campaign, the opposite of what you see everywhere else, where folks just ignore you folks in the chat because you're not shit to them. They won't ever say that. They'll say, we love you. We love you in the chat. No, I actually give a fuck about the truth. I actually give a fuck about people. I may not give a fuck about you individually because I don't know you, so I can't. But the reflection of you here, knowing you're a people and a reflection of me as self and the truth and God, I care about that objectively. Subjectively, at times, maybe not so much. The way I put this is I love all beings. I practice that, even if it's not intuitive or natural for me. I practice loving all beings. I also practice, either directly or indirectly, respecting very few. So please don't get put off, audience, here, if we don't do what Bryan, not insulting Bryan from High Impact, he just may be a better man than me. Just maybe nicer, kinder, politer, just naturally. That's not really my modality naturally. You know, I hold doors for people, for women. You know, I say thank you, sir and ma'am. I do all the regular ethical, polite things that you somehow learn through life, even if you didn't come from a good home. But I'm not always the nicest, kindest, politest being. What I do like to take credit for, I guess, I don't want to say what I'm prideful for, but one of the things I do believe is that I'm real, which to me is worth its weight in gold beyond nice, kind, polite, politically correct, is real and true to self. So I'm going to go ahead and address this because it seems that I haven't enough already. And this is not, I want to believe, you'll have to make the decision, and along with God, I want to believe that this is not from an egotistical perspective. right? I'm trying to get you and everyone right to see what it is that I'm seeing and have the same experience. Can't be liked by everyone, I guess. Bryan just needs to admit fault. He's talking about Stavely, not Bryan from My Impact. Both you are fine by me. This is where you're lacking discernment, I suspect, sir. Because you guys, again, I'm not wanting to come down on you and make this all about the cult of Paulie, that you only belong here with me. There may be things about me you can't take from me. You have to take it from somewhere else. Because I'm not displaying it here, presuming I possess it at all. If that makes sense. But when you guys come here and you say, you make equivocations and equalizations with me and other people, and you say we're both fine by you, that just calls me back to call you back to your discernment. Why are you fine with people who are not living this truth? Why are you fine with people who are not distinguishing legal versus lawful? Why are you fine with people who are not Americana to the core, who are not living in values and principles? The same rap I keep doing here every few minutes and every few hours and every few days and, on and on and on. Why are you okay with that? Is it because you're like that? So you see other people who are like you, and then you intuit that, hey, everyone's okay. I'm okay. He's okay. We're okay. We're fine with that. You shouldn't be fine with that. If you come across an American, especially someone from the East Coast who claims to be about it, rough and tumble, salt of the earth, and they don't want to live this information, you should not only not be fine with it, you should ask them what the fuck they think they're doing here. What the fuck they're wasting your time, energy, attention, and resources for. Obviously, your time is your greatest resource because you can't get that the fuck back, let alone your money. Many of you paying for these people's shitty merchandise and giving them shit. You could never give me anything ever again, and it's not going to change what the fuck I'm saying about what it is. Right? So, again, maybe that's just where we're different. Because most folks are non-confrontational. Believe it or not, I don't like confrontation. I've just gotten really used to it. Growing up where I grow up, in the household that I have, and on the streets at times that I have, I had to get used to and comfortable with the uncomfortable. I had to get used to confrontation and chaos. I don't like it, but it seems it's necessary. And if it's not necessary, it seems it's necessary to embrace because it's happening consistently. So better adapt and evolve and overcome than to shrink from the controversy, if that makes sense, in my world, right? So again, I'll just ask you, why are you okay with folks who are only known for supposedly being part of a pandemic and not going along, who, when the pandemic goes away, they go right back to talking flat earth. They start talking flat earth, flat chest, and everything else other than the law of the land, everything else other than ethics and morals and logic. What is this? Why are you okay with this, that they're okay with this? They're here in influencing a whole new generation of young people. And instead of them imputing these moral codes and this inspiration into them, they're distracted and deceived and disempowered, looking for overnight fame and fan clubs and to do anarcho-poco. Your fuckboy over there just got online. You want me to pull it up? Because I check into these people, if not once every 6 months or so. I check in to see where they're at, and I go, oh, we're still there doing that, huh? Okay. I'm not your judge, God is, but I can discern and speak the truth and give other people informed consent. You fucktards are over there not living free and not actual anarchists subject to policy and code, and then you're grifting online to get people down to anarcho-poco so you can fuck bitches and get money. Like you're some kind of hip-hop act. What are you doing? You guys realize I've been thrown out of half a dozen freedom festivals for actually living the truth and not being a bitch? Do you realize that? While you guys check your guns at the door, you guys go to freedom festivals and they tell you no guns allowed from here on out. And you check your gun. You don't even carry guns, you bitch ass motherfuckers. And if you do, you check them at the door. And then when Paulie Boy won't, because we're at a freedom festival and you won't give me my rights and freedoms, and I'm supposed to be a star speaker here. Are you kidding me? And you guys show up, check all your fucking rights and freedom at the door to talk on stage and be seen and heard like it fucking matters. You just don't get where the win and the loss is in every situation. You just can't see with the focus where the actual come up is and not. You think the goofy dumb bitches with the face paint on and the money is the come up. That's the come down, dumbass. That's the disempowerment and the demeaning. Can't help these chimpanzee slaves, it seems. They're too in the world and of it. They're too Luciferian swung. They can't get into good faith and honorability. It's a fucking shame. And then they want to make equivocations between how I live and walk and these motherfuckers. Are you kidding me? Go ahead, Timmy. I noticed that you joined us here.
What's up, brother? Yeah, nah, it's all good, man. We got the fucking Yuri Bezmenov is a good one, man. Let's keep that shit rolling, man.
If Tom wants to come up, I know we haven't seen each other in a while. I've never had a hatred for Tom. I think that he's incomprehensive at times. I don't have hatred for him. I think he's bizarre, but he's another character. Like, I'm not a character in my own way. I can reconcile it. If he can just yield at times and let me do my broadcast and not cut in, he can join me anytime. I don't have hatred for you folks. I don't need to battle with you folks. But if I have to battle for airtime or to spit my shit, that's when we meet resistance, and I'm going to tell you to get gone. You know? So other than that, I actually like having Tommy here at times. I like having a lot of folks here at times to kind of get in where they fit in. And there's often times where I do a lot of talking and people feel like they're just fucking paperweights because they're just sitting there. And I get that. So then you got to do something with that. Either you want to be part of what I'm doing here and just hang with me, if nothing else, get in where you fit in, you know, or I guess not. And then I do it either with myself or with Timmy or limited other folks here. It is what it is, right? Just watch your stupid little, he's like one of my stepsons who he loves me first and foremost, but he has so much bitterness and resentment built up for how I've treated him over the course of years that he literally fulfilled my request and made another loops about me to expose me. But I don't care because I enjoy the loops. So he comes here and he passively aggressively says, I made you your video, Dad. I love you. Even though we have resistance, just watch it and play it. So, okay, I'll know enough to know that this is out of love, even if it's going to be hating. And I did ask for it, right? So let me get fucking Tommy, man. Let me get my Tommy latest loops video. Because I did request it. I am with my big fucking fat face. He's got a big fat face of mine just zoomed in up close for the loops. Oh my God, what a world. You gotta laugh, right, people? You gotta laugh. Okay. Good to it. I don't know what that means. Are you gonna make a third loops? I'm looking forward to that.
Well, that can help emphasize what you don't know, what that means. Do you think as a sociopath, which is a next level narcissist, that if you act like you enjoy the thing that exposes you way more than I even expected, what's that game? Because it only exploits your cult too, to watch it and not be like, Paul, he's right though. You're not truth or rights. You contradict yourself. What do you think's up with that you would come up all nice when you know I was inviting you and your son toilet bowl last night and you guys watch?
I think I've explained this to you in the past, Tom. I don't see you as credible or really having any effect. And I do find you to be...
Who does?
I love this.
Reunited and it feels so good. God, that's fucking audible herpes. I'll never me and Joe.
Can I ask why Tommy is here after he just admitted to striking my channel the other day?
Oh, you're right.
That is
Paul.
actually a great question, Paul.
Bye, Tommy. It's a great question. We'll see you later. Bye. Bye. Long as I have keys, you're getting hit every time I see you. So, speaking of which, here we go. How are you, Tom?
I appreciate you separated yourself from the snafu hypocrisy that I'll be calling out soon.
Okay, what am I separating myself from, directly or indirectly?
When you said you weren't about that reporting channel shit when you reported my channel while in my backstage.
I don't do that, sir. I'd rather you win on your own merit or lose on your own merit. I will not be a source of influence to do to you what has been done to me. That's hypocrisy.
And I was being honest when I said I only trolled that I reported your channel. I didn't really report your channel.
Take responsibility. Hey, Tommy, didn't you like how Snafu Crew got your video struck down? You fucked hard. It wasn't true.
Whoa, he's taking credit again for hitting people up. You got the video.
Pull some guns out on some motherfuckers.
I don't support that. No. Because see, now you're getting me tied in. Now you're gonna put crosshairs on me.
This is all me.
I didn't
It's
tell
got
you to
nothing
do
to do
that.
with
I don't support that. You're playing dirty now. I'm not gonna tell you not to do it. You're your own man. But if you listen, I'm always candid with you. It's crossed my mind many times, but I've never done it because I gotta live with me. Right? And they want to strike my shit. Whatever, I don't strike their shit.
The optics are high. I gotta go take care of fucking
lately. Hey, can you get over there and strike a Luma tranny? Because I'm sick of looking at him and listening to him talk shit about it.
We're gonna strike tranny, and I gotta go take care of.
All right. To be fair, this is a pretty decent. I mean, again, you pointed out where I sort of, in jest, right? You could tell I'm smiling. I'm having fun with the whole thing. This is a guy who strikes me regularly. So yeah, like when you piss me off at times, I'm going to ask Snafu when he's coming over to strike you, but ultimately I don't do it, man. I don't mount campaigns here. Right. I could have this audience destroy channels in 3 seconds. You guys don't get that, right? You guys don't get that. Like Pathetic Warrior, when he got into it with me, never got stricken. Austin never got stricken. Luma Slavery, never. Slave Cot. You guys realize that I at least at this point, it's not bragging, I at least have enough pull that if I wanted to, I can mount a campaign and get you guys all out of here completely. Like channel taken down, the whole thing. There's at least 20 to 50 hitters on this team that if I tell them to go do something and they see it's not that I told them to do it. If I tell them to do it and they see the benefit in doing it and getting you the fuck out of here and stop wasting everybody's time and constantly thinking you can do whatever you want without consequence, they do it. I've never done it, right? So, and I'm pretty confident that this audience, even if they hate a lot of you folks at times, never do that because I don't encourage them to do it. So they go, well, if he's not going to encourage us to do it and he doesn't do that, and we kind of know we shouldn't do that, right? None of us should really use the state or the policy or the rules or anything to govern ourselves and each other. It's like, I agree with that. We shouldn't do that. But then where's the line? If you folks are insane and you're constantly making lies and doing defamation and harassment and interference and all the rest of it, I mean, where's the line there? Right? So, let's not try to pretend that I sit up here and when I'm insulted with people in the chat down there or other places, that I go on campaigns like Snafu and encourage people to strike. Because if I did, you folks wouldn't be here. If I did it myself, you wouldn't be here. Quite frankly, I think that YouTube and its affiliates value my word. Even if they'll shadow ban my first channel, they're not striking it anymore, or this one. They pretty much, this channel doesn't get traction, doesn't get algorithm play that I understand, but they don't really bother it the way they did the first one. So I think that I've accrued some good standing and some reputation and credibility with YouTube, especially the legal team, since we've talked privately a few times. So I suspect that if I was to make some complaints, quote unquote, or some claims with them and put them on to certain people and what they're doing, that you'd be out of here. But I don't do that. I'm the guy who it's like, even if I have certain levels of power, influence, even if it's just my ability to speak and communicate and make claims and adhere to the facts, I don't tend to do that to interfere with other people's campaigns against me, right? Or free expression. Is really what it comes down to. You're free on your channel to express all you want about me, talk about me, call me everything under the sun. Then you have to own that credibility and that standing, right? The judgment's going to be on you. So I never strike it. I never report it. I never encourage other people to do that. I find Snafu Snaps to be an entertaining warthog creature. So yes, I've been guilty at times of, I guess you could say, knowing what he's going to do and then furthering it in a way or indirectly supporting it. But I will say, right, Snafu Snaps did, this is months before, just recently get pissed off at you and strike your channel. And I'd almost rather your channel be up than stricken. So let's make that clear on the record, that even if I could, I wouldn't and don't. And even when you get stricken, it's almost like poor Illuma Tommy, let him stay up over there with his 20-person live viewer audience and tweak all night on meth and scream and yell and do 3/4 of the broadcast about me. I almost feel like something's missing when it's not there. out. Fuck him. Before we move forward, and I know now he's going to default to his one power move. I'm going to strike you, and the crew's going to strike you. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it again. You've done it before, and you're going to create more of a resistance between us, and then I just won't have you here at all. You want to play these fucking games. It's really sad and pathetic that we just can't show up here and do what the fuck we do, that the audience requires from us, and that the God of creation requires from us, without playing these low-level power and value games, right? It gets boring, it gets old, it gets draining. It's not nourishing and enriching. It's a waste of our time, energy, and attention. Not interested. You want to do that game? Come up here and do it. I've been waiting for a year and a half for somebody to outcompete me. They haven't done it yet. And I'm not interested if it happens or doesn't happen. Doesn't need to happen, doesn't need to not happen. Whatever's meant to be. I don't understand, Tommy. Where's this going? I'm talking a lot. Like, he always has these videos that I can't figure out what the point he's making is exactly. And it's always look at the hold on, you gotta see it. This is the only reason I want another Loop Loops, because I really like the music. And I guess that's the intro outro. That's my favorite. If it happens or doesn't happen. Doesn't need to happen, doesn't. And this is me apparently in a flannel. Whatever's meant to be. Go ahead, O'Shea. I'm talking a lot. You've been blocked. What does that prove? That I blocked you at one point? I don't know what. Why did you use that? Why are you using that video of me? What is it meant to indicate? Like, you can tell in that video I'm having pain in my side. And then I'm kind of nursing myself and I'm experiencing pain. What is that, like your attempt to make it look like I'm crying? And I'm like, I'm sad. I'm biting my lip because I'm in pain, and you can see that I'm wincing because I have a hiatal hernia from having my arms ripped out of their sockets when I was arrested unlawfully at one point. And I have pain in my other side because I have gallbladder issues from being a fat fuck for at least 3/4 of my life, if not currently, among other things. So, because you'll smile like a monkey child at the end. Right. I smile like a monkey child at the end because somebody said or did something that I thought was funny that took me out of the pain that I was experiencing, not only with dealing with you, but with various ailments.
Well, the broadcast is like your past addictions, man. It's like it does help a bit, but then you get on a whole bunch of other painful problems dealing with poetry.
Right. The broadcast is my new addiction, and it's taking me down and theoretically helping others and maybe taking others down with me. We don't know. We haven't got the full effect yet. It's only years later, when the time capsule is open, that we will deduce what actually happened here. Was it God? Was it the devil? Was it a little bit of both? Was it neither? It's just my subjective insanity. You know, only time will tell, and the people shall decide, along with the God of creation. Pathetic Venus, how many times you called Paul a pig? Takes pig to know a pig. Yeah, no one cares. I don't care what Tommy and Venus and all the other unactualized, unrealized, corpse-looking folks really have to say or present about me. They obviously don't understand what I'm doing here half the time. They don't know me as a person or my heart or my intentions, obviously. They project onto me who and what they are constantly, and they come to false conclusions and hypotheses about, again, what I'm doing here and what it is that I'm in this life for at this time. So a lot of chaos and confusion, I've learned. Timmy, do you have anything? Is Tommy blocked? Because he has this thing now where, like, okay, he's not blocked. So yeah, Tom, if you want to come up and have a back and forth, I'm open to it. As long as we can kind of maintain some back and forth, if possible. If not, I'm going to move on, and I'm going to shut it down soon. We're coming up to the 3rd hour. So if you're on the other Restream channels and you want to join us, the chat is lit. That's what's been said here. That's one way to put it. YouTube.com/@PimpUnslaved. That's the main headquarters at this time. Mr. Broken System, I noticed you didn't put the video. You did put one yesterday. We never got to it. I do want to get back to you and the court things at some point. We've been moving here lately. We've been on a move and in the pocket. Go ahead.
Perfect segue because I was looking for ways to contribute. But yeah, that's cool because it was Artie's corporate fiction video, and I'm wondering what happened with Timmy. Is he not Timmy's corporate fiction anymore? What's going on, man? Like you gotta come in.
Oh, he's not here right now.
We'll
Timmy's corporate friction. That's Timmy's corporate friction. He's not here right now.
Timmy's corporate
he's
friction.
doing some loan. That guy's doing some loan business in the other room.
He's there. Yeah, it has been told that you have never been seen in the same room as that other guy. So you know what I mean. I've never
my
seen
associate.
It. But anyways, but I was thinking we could get Timmy some good snidbits to work on. Maybe like some clips of Artie reviewing my court date. Maybe
clips. Easy.
Artie, his infamous clip is the judge said yes, but the judge fell for the trap. I thought it was great. When Artie does reactions to my videos, it's fantastic because he actually reveals what's going on in the court. The judge fell for the trap. The judge fell right into the trap, and Artie sprang it on her. You know, he spilled the beans and told the whole audience, but the audience, it went over as if it never happened. And I don't
because
want
the
that to
audience
happen.
is retarded. A lot like the host,
Right.
They reflect each other. The big portion of the audience is retarded, and that's why when they expose themselves and tell the truth, it's like it never happened. It's kind of like the last 4 years. Everyone woke up today and acted like we didn't just get locked down and enslaved the last 4 years, and it's just business as usual. Yeah, because 3/4 of them are fucking retarded. There's no other way to say it.
And it's headed that direction again. If you didn't notice, there's going to be something else that happens that's going to drive y'all's like that way again. And then on another note, I did want to ask O'Shea because I don't know if O'Shea has been paying attention, but I want to know how receptive O'Shea is to the Grape and Pillage tour. If he can teach me stand up, I want to know on a scale from 1 to 10, like, just how receptive he might be on helping me work out a bit. And
Your thoughts on that, Bryan O'Shea? The Bryan O'Shea Rape and Pillage tour?
Grape and Pillage. It's Grape and Pillage.
Rape
sir.
and Pillage. Okay.
Yeah, no.
And is that like because Bryan O'Shea is known to be with colored people and African Americans, so we're kind of double entendre there, Grape and Pillage, because they're really into grape soda and shit like that?
That was not the intent. So
What
to
is-
the African American community, that was not the intent.
What does the grape represent in this tour?
The Grape and Pillage tour, because we're going to be going around the country, like sacking the town. Like you're gonna go into town.
What does
you're
the
gonna
grape
go up on
represent?
stage.
Fuckface. What does grape mean? It has to have a meaning in this tour. What the fuck?
Oh,
there's
grape-
nothing. It just sounds like grape. So you just fucking.
There's the grape right there. That's the grapists.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Grape
yeah.
Those
They're
are
raping this
grape-
whole community
those
of patriotards and desperate citizens, fleecing them. They're sucking them dry. They're bending them over, and everybody's having a grand old time.
And I'm
O'Shea,
guessing
O'Shea,
just by-
hang on. O'Shea, you should start a new website. It's called Live Without Comedy and start teaching folks like BSBT and do consulting because you know what they say about it. You know, if you can't teach, right?
Yeah, live without faith. That should be Talcott's actual brand. Live without faith, and we just death coach everyone. All right, just drop out. Don't do anything. Don't be anything. You know, just live without faith. It's a death coach.
I think Timmy is suggesting live without laughs. That's what Timmy is suggesting.
Live without comedy
laughs.
or live without laughs.
Don't need them. Get rid of them.
All right, if I let you guys keep rambling, folks are going to decide to live without this broadcast. So can we get some final words? And I'm going to get the hell out of here. And you guys can go on and do whatever it is that you usually do. And I'll just sit, as I oftentimes do, either on the edge of the bed or the couch and smoke and cough and cry. And imagine a day where maybe rights, freedom, and principle, spiritual faith are reigning again instead of inauthentic corporate males and females, beta energy and perspectives. Your thoughts, final words, gentlemen?
I'll go first. Anybody that's watching on my channel, if you stuck it out to this point, please drop a comment to tell me if you think that we should, well, I guess encourage O'Shea to entertain the idea. And then also Timmy, if Timmy should work out a couple bits so he can perfect the Timmy's corporate friction, not for himself, but for the guy who play, you know, the actual guy who is Timmy's corporate friction. That's my final words. Thank you for having me up.
Thank you. I have no idea what he just said.
I award you no points, and we're all dumber for having listened to that answer. Have a nice day.
Yeah, I swear I never thought ADHD was a real thing, and I'm starting to think it might be, and they were onto something, because half the time when people talk here, I can't even cognize what they're saying. I don't know if it's their it's either it's me or it's their personality or it's the cadence, it's the content. I don't know if it's all three. I just fucking check out like a third of the way into what most people are saying. I go, fuck, this is boring. Fuck, this is going nowhere. Fuck, this they're trying to be cute and clever and it's not translating. And then I just start seeing my life flash before my eyes and my broadcasting career just kind of dissipating before me. Kind of, you know, melting into the ether. Your thoughts, Bryan O'Shea? Now, obviously, that doesn't happen with you. You know, you're a comedian, okay? You have a different kind of je ne sais quoi, as they say, as the communists up north would say. You know, certain something. You keep us engaged. You never do comedy and not get laughs. You know, it's the one thing in comedy you don't want to get is like dead silence. So, I mean, maybe you take over, do a final word here. Introduction or no? Just you right now, or you want me to like play you in, play you out?
Such a cocksucker. Fuck that. I'm 86th from rooms over here now, dude. Now I got to figure this out. It's like the tow yard all over again, dude. Kicking me out. I show up, they're like, nah, man, you're 86th. The fuck, dude.
All right, everybody. That was Bryan O'Shea. You can see him out west, down south, pretty much all over. Wherever that tourist can get to is where you're going to see him. Wherever the tourist can get to, wherever he can afford the gas to get to. Bryan O'Shea, you know I was going to bring you back in. Why'd you leave? I was just teasing you, see? Just doing the thing where I put you in the back and pretend like we're done, and then I bring you back out and we talk more and I let you Why'd you run off, Bryan? Come on. You knew I wasn't going to cut you off just like that completely. All right, folks. I guess Bryan O'Shea's gone. He knows I like teasing him and playing with him and doing the bit because, like, it's comedy, right? You introduce him and then you cut him off, and then, you know, it's a thing. Us comedians, we do a thing. We razz each other, you know. Bryan O'Shea is one of my favorites here. There's no denying it. He knows it. I know it. He's one of the few people I talk to privately, right? Other than DeCastro, who obviously I bummed out, insulted him. He's one of the other few folks who I talk to privately, other than DeCastro. So, Bryan O'Shea, we love you. We support you. You know that. Hell, I've given you at least, what, $50, $100? If I've given you anything when it comes to fiat currency, you know that I love you and care about you and I support you. Jennifer's still looking to get something from me in that regard. And I'm holding out, okay? All right, I'm out of here. Mazel from out west. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 days a week. We're over 500 days straight here because we don't stop. A lot of folks like to say that, but they never really started. So you can't say we don't stop if you never really started to live and be true to yourself and uphold the rights, freedom, principles, law of the land through spiritual faith and trust and equity, right? That's the maxims of law, foundations of law. If you haven't acquired that and apprehended that and started to live and activate that, you can't say we don't stop because you've never started yet. I'm out of here, folks. Say goodnight to the bad guy. And on your way out, we got the newest Gorilla Gem. And it's Paul Discontent. I did request it. So he whipped it up for me quick and fast on the fly. He put it out. And there's even an extension and ending on it today. It was different from yesterday. So looking forward to Talcott Clip Collection. I want to see him whip something else up. He was pretty good at them intro outros with me. And anybody else. That's an extension to anybody if you're into that, right? I'm not looking to make other people work for me. These folks just did it. And I'm over the moon about it. If you want to take some of the clips here, repost them, share them. This is all free content. It's all public domain, non-copyrighted, you know, so free to use it anywhere, anyhow. Clip it up, make an intro, make an outro out of it, send it to my Gmail. The information's down there scrolling because they'll say, where's that? And it's right there. I always get a kick out of that. On my off time, I watch these things. I listen to these things. I read what you guys send me. You know, I pretty much read everything and respond to everything, you know, within reason, unless you're a completely insane person and you're harassing me. So yeah, if you're into that, if you're moved and inspired to do that, always a good time for everybody, value for value. I'm thankful and grateful for that, as well as the contributors and supporters. Thank you for your contribution and support. Allows me to do what I do and not have to beg and grift and sell quad folds and board games and all the rest of the bullshit. I wouldn't do it anyway, even if I did this for free. I do this because I'm good at it, some folks say, and more importantly, because I love it. And even more importantly, because I need at times, some of the stuff I talk about here, I think needs to be taken into account and used for us to do and be and have better as a people on this land, as a supposed country, community. So yeah, I'll continue to do and be what it is I'm doing and being, because it's what I love to do and what I believe I'm formed to do to some degree. So you do the same in your life. Stay true to yourself. Be an inspiration and a source of empowerment, not only for yourself, but for others. And life is good, even if it's not. Like Aaron says, life is good. I feel good. All right. I'm out of here. I love you. Much love, much love. If you don't want the truth back, go fuck yourself. Paul Discontent, extended Really, version. James, can we have a new Paul Unslaved intro, outro? Paul Discontent. Could you clip this and do something with it, please? It'll give me a renewed sense of faith and inspiration. This is full bit right here. I want full bit. Like we're going all the way in on this one. Hold on, even let me even get the music. I think this calls for some music. The perfect. This is how we do bits on the fly here. We
Peace out, haters. Leave your comment, little bitches. You don't know who you disrespected. It's okay. It's okay. I know I make you insecure. Keep me in the back, faggot. Fuck. You and your laziness, bro. Yes. To waste some time anyway. And you're a fucking pussy hater, Paul.
Yeah, I'm the hater, right? He just exposes that once again, he has always been and is an undercover / deep cover / out in the open hater. Because this is the second or third time he's done this. Whenever he doesn't get what he wants, he projects onto me. Why would I hate on you? You don't have shit. You're not doing shit. You're not on my radar for being or doing anything. I'm not jealous of you. You guys got it backward. You follow me regularly. You apparently want something from me or with me, or something that I am or have. I don't know what it is. And when I don't give you the validation and I don't appeal to you, I'm the hater now. That's you. I'm doing broadcast here. Not here to be your babysitting, validating daddy. So take it somewhere else. Incredible how they all come out in the open for who and what they always are, because they don't get what they want with me. And I always entertain them more than I should, because it always winds up that way. Just from day one, I should go, just stay the fuck out of here. I don't need to hear, and you're interfering with what I'm doing. And even when I call attention to you and try to give you a voice or give you some time, it's never enough. So just don't fucking come here at all if you're going to play the codependent, needy bullshit with me. Go to therapy and fix your issues with your mommy and daddy and yourself before you come here and project it onto me.
And yo, in case the audience missed it, I'm pretty sure that this guy, the first time he came on, was like, yo, Paul, want to come live with me? He's like, I got some land in California.
Yeah, that's what I want to deal with.
Yeah. Insane.
Yeah, so I can deal with that every time that I'm not doing whatever they want from me. Now I got broken system, the genius here. Look at him.
No, I'm just getting my stream together, Paul. There's 7 people.
I can't broadcast right now. I just want to give you the update like I do every day that I can't broadcast right now, but I will sometime in the future. But I will restream. Thank you. Thank you. I just slammed my head into my phone and broke the glass into multiple pieces and then picked up a piece and slit my wrist with it as content. content non-tent because I'm discontent. That's part of the bit that goes on here. Paulie discontent. Can we, Gorilla Gems, can we have a new Paul Unslaved intro, outro? Paul discontent. Could you clip this and do something with it, please? It'll give me a renewed sense of faith and inspiration. What's so odd about this is I look at the narratives and I go, I either really am what they say, narcissistic and egotistical, and I'm like sniffing my own product, or everything they say about them is true for me, but they'll call me crazy while saying it's true for them. It's why I'm hollering and losing my mind on this broadcast. Because I'm a regular guy on the ground doing what's necessary while the rest of you are duped out of your power and position and choice, following these tards and these psyops. Only you slaves can prevent slavery. Don't look for it the same places you keep losing it. God, you know what it's like to push this boulder up this hill and to have some kind of faith that people will wake up from their slavery and stop the insanity and the nonsense over and over again, and then have to watch them do it again? Did I say it slow enough for him? Did I say it enough times this week and this month and this year to finally fucking penetrate the thick ape-like skull of these slaves? Are we ever going to get there to actually do something different, to get something different and deal with the consequences and sacrifices? Yeah, we're the reason, right? Those of us over here, see the ragtag crew over here that'll get no credit. Once again, God using the least among us to do the most, while the ones saying they're doing the most are doing the least. They're doing the most when it comes to staging shit and pretending. Boy, is it great. We're having fun with that. But like actually day to day on the ground, making change, you're not. You're not. Quite the opposite. And once again, I'm going to have to go through slavery and genocide and psyops again, like I have many times before, at the whim of you duped out, pathetic, cowardly slaves. So I'm cool with it. If I have to go through it and experience it and can see, well, then I'm going to bring it to your fucking table and mock you and humiliate you and do all the things you begged for, just like you do from your masters. I'm going to give it to you from the other side because I'm one of them, right? So I can speak on it. You know, if you don't like it, it's because you don't like yourself and having a mirror hold up to look at who and what you are.
God of all media.